What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Full Scale Outdoors Podcast. I am your host, Dale Luganville. Hey, I got some exciting announcements, or a exciting announcement. Finally, what we've been talking about, the Full Scale Outdoors Flight Companion beer drinking extravaganza is happening this Friday, June 7th, 5 p.m. at Big Wood Brewery in White Bear Lake. That's where we're going to be. Come on out, hang out with us, test out this flight. How it's going to work is we're going to do a flight. And then the brewmaster, Ty, there, he's going to kind of introduce each beer that we try. We're going to test it out. We're going to give our opinions on it. And then we'll talk crazy shit in between. And we'll talk fishing and hunting and what's beers involved. Really, anything's on the table. So it's should be a pretty damn good time. But come on out. So if you have any questions, or you can just ask us some questions. I don't know how we're going to have headphones on, but we'll figure that out. That'll work itself out. You can handwrite us a note or something. And, we'll figure it out. But my guests for the Flight Companion are Doug Glimmerveen from the SmackDown Outdoors podcast. He's going to be on. And then Tony Dahlberg, who was in the Minnesota Made Fishing League with me this last year, and he makes some YouTube videos on his own. Cool dude. So he'll be on. And then Ty, the brewmaster, it will be our third guest. And yeah, it should be a good time. I'm super stoked for it. And hopefully we're going to do more of these in the future, and we'll just kind of travel around to different breweries. So if you are a outdoor enthusiast and a beer snob, this is the event for you. So come on out, Big Wood Brewery, June 7th, 5 p.m. Come out and say hi, sit in, be a part of the podcast. That'd be super awesome. So let's move on today's podcast. This man saved me. I had a guest all lined up, and in the hours before we were going to meet, his work got in the way, and we had to reschedule. I'm like, I need an episode. So I went to the old Book of Face there, and had a bunch of people reach out to me. Some didn't work because, where they lived. But David Pechacek, I hope I'm saying that right, David. David Pechacek, or Paycheck, as he's known in the bass fishing world, because the dude just cashes paychecks. Makes it rain for all the ladies. All right, that was dumb. Anyways, he could do it, and he lived relatively close. He came out to the old casa here. We sat down in the man cave, fired up some beer. I went and got him some Coors Light. It's almost beer. And then I drank some Grain Belt Premium, so not exactly it was a huge beer endeavor there. But super cool dude, man. I didn't know who this guy was until today, and we just hit it off. The conversation flowed like water. It was awesome. The guy clearly knows what he's talking about. And I had a couple requests for an all bass episode. So, ladies and gentlemen, here is your all bass episode. This is the Full Scale Outdoors Podcast with David Pechacek. Oh, here we go, boys.
Go.
Ooh, I love that sound. This is a good one. How do you pronounce your last name?
Well, it's Pechacek, but
Pechacek.
Everybody in the fishing industry calls me Paycheck. So.
Oh, was it because you win?
Paycheck. Well, I win from time to time. Yeah, I win a few. Yep.
Do ya?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yep.
And this is Bassmasters?
Yeah, Bassmasters. I mean, I fished the FLW tour as a co-angler last year for a little while too.
How'd that go?
It was a little rough. The first one I got to check at Okeechobee. But then after that, it's super hard to catch. You have to catch 5 legals in the FLW tour as a co-angler versus 3 in the opens. And I mean, when you get behind guys like Thrift and other guys like that, you're trying to catch 5 legals behind somebody.
Okay,
so it's hard. It's really hard. So.
I'm gonna back up just a little bit. So you have to catch. So what do you mean by you have to catch? 3? Like to weigh in, you need
Yeah,
at
to
least
weigh
3?
in. Yep.
Or
So
they won't
normally,
even let
like,
you weigh in?
if you're normally like in a club tournament, like your club or my club, yeah, you're weighing in 5. But
Yeah.
like for the Bassmaster Opens as a co-angler, it's only 3.
Oh, you only get to weigh 3.
Yeah,
not you have to.
No, you
okay,
only
that's
can weigh
where
in 3.
okay that the wording there threw me off.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, I've weighed in like one fish before. No, I haven't, but I could see it happening.
Yeah, don't tell anybody that
I've
you've
weighed
done that.
only
but
4 or 3. I think 3 is the worst day I had. I think it was
Uh-huh.
4. I think 4.
That's pretty good, dude.
Actually, I fished the TOC last year. Just had an open spot. I didn't qualify for it because at that point in time I hadn't won shit. But they had an open spot, and so I'm like, hell yeah, I'll fish it.
Mhm.
You know, it'd be great.
You went up
experience.
and you fished Pechacek with that?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
First day I did okay, and I was. Man, I don't remember the exact numbers, but I was in the top half at least. I mean, there's a shit ton of boats up there.
Yep.
And then the second day, I shit the bed. I couldn't get. I think I brought 4 in. I couldn't.
Uh-huh.
Like, you tell me I can't catch 5 bass on this lake.
Yeah.
But apparently that's the case. But my non-boaters,
They caught him, huh?
they did well.
Did they
So
make?
I'm a
Did
good
they
captain.
both? Did they both make the team then, or what?
I don't think my boater for the second day did. But the first day did.
First
There's
day
a
did.
young kid I had up there, and that's like kind of like his hometown lake. And
Was it Dom?
Yeah, in
Was
fact-
it Dominique?
no, it wasn't
Dominique
I don't
Flora?
remember
No?
his- no,
Okay.
I don't remember his name.
Okay.
Actually, if you said it, I might remember it, but I don't remember it. But I actually pointed out his kicker fish
Uh-huh.
because I had like a mess, a tangle or something was going on, and we were working the shoreline, and I was like, "Oh shit, there's a big one right there." He's like, "Where?" He's like, I was like 10 o'clock from you, about 20 yards out, and he just flipped the Senko in there and grabbed it,
Caught
smashed
it.
it. It was like a four and some change.
Just
nice fish.
cruising the shoreline.
He was
huh?
just sitting there. He wasn't even cruising. He was just sitting there.
Let
I'm
me
like,
catch
There's
you.
one right there. Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, you're welcome. Like, that should have been my kicker fish. But I didn't. I'm competitive, but I'm also I like to help as much. Like,
Uh-huh.
I hate if my co-angler is not catching fish.
Yeah.
That drives me. I don't like that. I think that's more the guide mentality in me. Like, it just.
Uh-huh.
And I'm not competing against him. He's fishing as a non-boater, so
Mm-hmm.
he's not my competition. Even
No.
if we both had made it on the state team, it's like,
Cool.
I'm not fishing against
Yep,
you.
yep.
Like, we're teammates,
Yep.
and that's
No.
kind of how I viewed it. And
Plus-
my second day co-angler, he was only fishing as like a non-boater because his boat had just broken down like a week or two before.
Okay.
So, like, yeah, same thing.
Uh-huh.
He caught him like crazy, and I couldn't get that last. The 2 days are totally different too. Day 1, nobody could find him shallow where they thought they would be.
Yeah.
And when I pre-fished, I kind of found them out deeper,
Yeah.
like 20 plus feet. and
Wow,
deep
you're
weeds.
way out there. Okay.
Well, there was, you get those schools of little bluegills,
Uh-huh.
right, that sit like on those weed tops.
Yeah.
And I found them in there, like no giants, but a
Legals.
lot of like 2.5s,
Mhm.
stuff like that. Good enough to get a bag and then go try to find a kicker or something,
Yeah.
but man, it just couldn't. Then the second day they were shallow when I was out fishing deep. I was like,
Mhm.
that figures, but
Usually, if you
That's
get
just how it
13
is.
pounds around in those state tournaments, you'll be able to be close to making the state team. Except for
Yeah.
Mille Lacs the year
well,
before.
Mille Lacs is just a totally different beast, but
Yeah, because
I don't remember what the weight was, but it was up there.
Yeah.
I mean, they brought in good bags.
yeah,
Sunday.
I was 10th place and I made the last spot on the state team that year. And it
Was that on Mille Lacs?
Yeah, it was on Mille Lacs, and you needed I think I had 22 a day or something.
It's just
Isn't it crazy?
just
And
stupid.
that's in the summertime too, when it's even more
God.
tough. So
that's just silly when
Yeah.
you think about if you don't bring in 22 pounds.
yeah, if you had under
don't
20
have a
pounds on
chance.
day one, you were like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
but
When Bassmasters announced that they were going to Mille Lacs, I was like a giddy little schoolgirl. I'm like, oh my God, someone's going to bring in a 30-pound bag.
Uh-huh.
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
It didn't, but I was like, it totally could happen.
yeah, it
You-
could.
I was going to say easily, not easily, but there is a strong possibility of bringing in 5-6-pound fish.
If they did it in the spring, I think they'd have a lot better chance than when they did it in the fall. If they did-
you don't even need 5-6s. I mean, if you have a couple 5.5s,
yeah.
wherever that math works out, that is very doable.
Oh, there's a ton of fives, over fives,
Very
5.5s in that
doable.
lake. Yep. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I've almost been interviewing myself here. I need to pick your brain because you're the Paycheck, Johnny Paycheck.
You're not the first person to tell me that, actually. So.
Johnny Paycheck, because you're kind of, how old are you?
I'm 32 now, almost 33.
Okay, so you're not super young, but you do. Johnny Paycheck's an old country singer. You knew that, right?
I've heard him before.
Okay.
I've heard of his name. Yeah, I've come across him a little bit.
Yeah,
but
so
I don't listen to him on a regular
basis.
basis.
He's no Luke Bryan.
No.
He actually sings country music versus what Luke Bryan sings.
Not Toby Keith or nothing like that.
No, actually, Toby would be closer than Luke. But not get into a musical.
You think you could get Johnny Paycheck on the show?
Is he even alive? I don't even know if he's alive. I'd have to look.
Yeah.
But if he fishes or he hunts or he traps or does that, he's welcome. If you're listening to this, Johnny, come on.
All those country guys do, though. Every single one of them, it seems like.
It does seem that way. It does seem that way. And that's like a call for – I kind of put it out there as I was in a band, like a cover band for quite a while.
Okay.
Over 10 years. And so, I mean, I know like a couple agents, talent agents and that. And I'm like, you got anybody? Because I'm always looking for guests. Like, you're bailing me out tonight. Yeah. I really appreciate it because I had a guest that was going to come on and we were going to talk bass fishing. Had a couple people message me and they wanted a bass specific episode.
Okay.
I'm like, all right, I'm down to do that. And it just so happens that I had a bass guy lined up.
Yeah.
And then his work got in the way and we have to reschedule. But I was like, God dang it, I really need to get a podcast out. And so, yeah, you're bailing me out big time here. So I really appreciate that.
Oh, yeah, no problem.
And where was I going? What was I saying? Oh, yeah, the music. So I was like, if you know anybody, any of your bands that you have, if any of the musicians in your band, like if they also fish or hunt or do anything outdoors like that, and you want to promote like your touring schedule or just you're playing locally or your band or whatever, you have an album come out, it doesn't matter what it is. Yeah. You just want to sit down and shoot the shit about whatever it is you like to do.
Yeah.
Come on the show and just use my platform as a way to promote your stuff.
Yep.
That's what I want people to do. Like if somebody's listening out there, you have a YouTube channel or you make your own jigs or you're a rod builder or you're a duck call maker or whatever, like, or you're a guide.
Yeah,
you know, whatever you're trying to do. I just want to like help you promote that because we're just helping each other.
Yeah,
you're getting my name out there, you're getting my brand out there.
Yep,
and we just share. Like guy I'm having on our upcoming flight companion, which I'm super stoked about, is Doug Limmerveen of the SmackDown Outdoors podcast. So we don't see each other as competition. It's like you can listen to more than one podcast. Like this isn't a team thing. You know, it's not Vikings, Packers, or Democrats, Republicans. Like we're all in it together. You know, so and if anybody's like me, you just can't digest enough. There's not enough fishing shows, and there ain't enough podcasts, and there ain't enough radio shows to keep me busy. I run out. And I'm like,
keep it coming, keep it coming.
More. So, come on. If you got a podcast, let me know. I'll be on yours. You can be on mine. Whatever. Let's get this going.
Good deal.
So Bass, you're on the B.A.S.S tour.
That is correct. Yeah.
Okay. So
the Bassmaster Opens.
The Bass on the Opens.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So how does that work for people that don't know? As far as like, now the Opens, if I understand, if you have the money, you're in.
Yep.
Right.
That's correct.
If there's a spot, and you can afford it.
Yep.
Then
you
fish.
do. Yep. Yeah. Come around October time, like you can register, and if you got enough money, they're $1,500 a piece as a boater and $425 for a co-angler. There's two different series, so like there's the Easterns and then there's the Northerns.
Did they just restructure that?
They did, yeah. So last year they actually, or 2 years ago, they had 3 divisions with 3 each. So it made it a little bit easier if guys like worked a full-time job, they could use vacation stuff.
Sure.
And now they have 2 divisions with 4 each actually. So I'm fishing all 8 this year, and I fished 4 last year. So I'm fishing both divisions.
Or
co-angler.
Co-angler. Okay.
Yeah, but my buddy Kent, who I ride with, he's fishing them as a boater actually. So
cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, I love it, man. Like there's nothing.
Well, you'd learn a lot. I should do that.
Like you should join us, man.
Like, man, you could learn a lot as a co-angler.
I think you learn more as a co-angler than as a boater because,
for sure,
like you're watching other guys fish, and like sometimes it can get frustrating because they're doing their own thing and you're trying to do your own thing. But you get to. So I practice with a guy for a couple days. Usually, I try to practice with a couple different guys to try to get different vibes of different styles of the lake and stuff. So I get to see those guys. Then I get to see like what Kent's doing because he's doing his own thing. Like, he'll tell me what's going on a little bit. Then I'll get to see my day 1 guy. I'll get to see my day 2 guy.
Yeah.
So I'm seeing, like, all kinds of different stuff going on one body of water at the exact same time.
Yeah, that's really cool. Like, that's invaluable. You could learn so much. Because I know one of my weaknesses, and I'm sure everybody's probably this, is you fish the past or the history, or you fish, like, you have what you know that has worked in the past. And when you run into a time or situation where that you've gone through all your bags of tricks, and nothing seems to be going, and then you just kind of spin your wheels. You're like, I don't know what to do. I've kind of come to a dead end. Maybe it's tough for everybody, but it seems like somebody always figures it out.
Every day.
I don't care how big the cold front. I don't care how high the water is. Whatever excuse you think you have, somebody is coming back to that weigh-in with a full bag and a good bag. It seems to be somebody's figuring out. And that, it's great after the fact, you know, like, to know that and you can gather that information. But at the time, it's such, it just gets into your psyche. When you're in it, like, you start doubting yourself, and because you know somebody is catching them when you're not, and that just sucks.
I mean, I'll give you a perfect example. The first Bassmaster Open we went to on the Harris chain this year, we had a huge cold front come through like a day or two before the tournament started. The guy that's leading it on day 1, he busts 30 pounds.
Jesus.
He's blowing the doors off of it. It's like, and that's in Florida when they're supposed to completely shut down. So, like, you know, everybody always catches them. So you bet
there's a trick. There's stuff you don't know, and what better way to learn than watching somebody else?
Yep.
You know, seeing stuff from a different perspective. Even like maybe you're even doing the same thing, but he's doing it slightly different.
Yeah.
Maybe it's cast angle. Maybe whatever it might be. But you're like, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
No,
crazy. I didn't even think of that.
It happens all the time on the Bassmaster.
So you're going to learn so much more that way than just figuring it out, trial and error, the long run on your own.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, like versus if you were to do it as a boater, like, you would have to try to figure it out all on your own. You know, you're going down there, you're practicing out of your boat, you're trying to do your own thing. And if it doesn't work out, then you're kind of sitting there like, well.
Yeah, it didn't work out. What you learned is what you were doing didn't work. You didn't learn what did work.
Yep.
So there's really nothing to bring to the next event or the next time you face those conditions other than, well, the last time I fished in these weather conditions and this time of year, this didn't work.
Yep.
What do I do?
Yeah.
So, that would be really cool. It's a lot like I've talked about in this podcast a bunch, like if you're fishing new waters, and this is just not tournament angles, it's just like if you're vacationing somewhere or you're on a lake that you haven't been to, is, if you can afford it, get a guide because you're going to learn. If you're going to be there for like a week, day 1, get a guide.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
It's going to show you the waters, if there's any hazards, stuff like that, kind of show you where the bites that they're going to know.
Yep.
And that's money well spent. For all the thousands of dollars you spend on electronics and your boat and 18 rods and all the lures and that, it's like spend a couple $100 on a guide. It's like the rest of your week you're on your way.
Yeah.
Dude, that's like money well spent for sure.
Oh,
but
definitely.
But that's analogous to fishing with different professional anglers and learning from them. That would be super valuable. Now you got my mind spin. I'm like, I have to get on this tour now, I think.
Do it. I'll be calling you come October. I'm going to try to get you to join us, man. Like, there's a slew of guys from Minnesota now that are doing it. Yeah, I know. Run it by the wife first, though. I mean, like,
she's on board. She's on board.
Wow, that's awesome. Wow, she's a saint. She's awesome.
Yeah, she is awesome that way. But she's been on the whole journey of my full scale outdoors here. She's been in full support. So she's my sugar mama. She's keeping the lights on when times get tough.
Oh my gosh. She doesn't have a sister, does she?
She has a couple sisters, but they're all married.
Oh, they're all married already.
Yeah, things happen though. I'll keep you in the loop. I appreciate
I hope
they last forever. I hope they last forever and things seem to be going well. But shit happens.
Yeah, that's true.
If there's an opening, I'll let you know.
If they like a guy to fish, seriously, keep me in mind.
She's one of a kind for sure. She's definitely one of a kind. I gotta keep her at that one for sure.
Yeah,
she's been really just above and beyond.
Does she go?
Supportive.
Does she go with you then too?
She doesn't fish at all.
Really?
No,
okay.
No. I've brought her fishing a couple times. Ice fishing actually. One time I was like,
why would you put her through that, Dale? Come on.
Well, it was nice. I know you're a freeze baby. We talked on the phone. You're a freeze baby, but and she's well, she's a Minnesota girl, and she actually doesn't mind the cold.
Uh-huh.
But we went up, I think it was the first weekend in April on Lake of the Woods when the walleye season was still open. The fish had moved in close, and the fishing was insane.
Uh-huh.
It was stupid good.
Uh-huh.
She actually got really irritated. She smoked at the time, and the fishing was so good she didn't have time to smoke a cigarette. I'm like,
no.
well, you don't have to. You can take your line out of the water. Like,
Yeah.
you don't have to. She's like, well, they're biting. I'm like, I knew I liked you.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. We just slaughtered him. It was unbelievable. But she likes to read.
Okay.
So our hobbies fit pretty good. If we
Yeah.
vacation somewhere or I'm somewhere where I want to fish,
Yeah.
she likes to go for boat rides.
She just
So
kicks
she
it and
hangs
reads
out.
a book.
Yeah,
And
I'll jimmy rig some umbrella in the back for her with bungee cords and stuff. She can sit under the
she's
shade,
good to go.
read her book, drink some wine.
She's
and
a
the whole time I'm
She's a
casting.
keeper, Dale.
Yeah.
Oh, don't let her go,
yeah.
man.
When the weather's shitty, she stays in the cabin and I'll go out and fish in the shit.
Oh,
Don't matter
my
to me.
gosh.
I mean,
Wow.
yeah, our hobbies fit pretty good together. So
Uh-huh.
yeah, it works for sure.
Do you think she'd go on the opens with you then? Travel the country? Like, that's like, I seriously think that's half of the fun. Like, I love fishing, like, other bodies of water, but just getting to see the country itself
She
is
definitely
awesome.
would if we could afford it.
Okay.
I mean, if and then we need somebody to watch our dogs. I mean, I do have a son.
Or you could take the
I
dog
do have
with.
a child.
Yep.
So he can, hold
can
down
watch
the fort. But she just took a new job. She probably won't.
Mhm.
She won't have the vacation time to take off. That's probably not going to happen.
Okay.
But she loves to travel. I mean, we both love to travel and do that.
Does
so.
Florida in January sound nice to her?
Oh, I'm sure she would. But
Yeah!
she's
That's the one.
She's not. That's not really her style of vacation, though. She's not a beach goer. She's not.
Okay.
She's not a touristy person. She
Okay.
likes when we travel. She
Yeah.
likes to do. Well, we both do. We like to see the real people of wherever we're going. So we avoid the touristy stuff like the plague.
Okay. So
And
Orlando
then-
sounds like a nightmare.
Oh, Orlando is a nightmare. I've been there. I have been there, dude. No, gross. I wouldn't even like it.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I would just be like, whatever, buy my time, get on that big lake and catch some buckets. Like,
Yeah.
dude.
They're everywhere in
Okeechobee.
Florida, dude. Oh, Okeechobee's a blast. Like, Okeechobee's probably my favorite one down in Florida. I don't know. St. John's is really coming on strong right now,
Is
too.
it?
Yeah, because they had the Elite Series there. And, of course, Rick Clunn won again back-to-back there. So,
Dude,
he's just,
I mean, I know a few people now that have vacation down there,
yeah.
and they've gone to Okeechobee and to get a double-digit bass, and
Mhm.
they've come back not with that. I mean, they still get like a 7 or 8 pounder or something. I mean,
Uh-huh.
that's still, I mean, Jesus. I mean, that's a big fish.
Live bait, though, or artificial?
I don't know.
Because
Probably live bait because that's how you catch them down there.
That's
right?
how
that's
every-
big
that's
giant
how-
shad.
Yeah, they throw
Under a
gold
balloon?
shiners. Yeah,
Yeah.
under a plug or a bobber. Yep, they take and that's all the guides do down there. Yeah, they just hook it up and then throw it out there by the reeds and just wait.
How do you get them on artificials down there?
You flip a lot of punch in and stuff through the mats in the springtime and chatterbait. Chatterbait works really well. A
So not too
Senko.
different than up here.
No, not really. No,
You had me at Senko.
Yeah, dude.
I love fish.
Senkos
I
are
love 'em.
Dude, I was throwing wacky rigs down on Chickamauga, and like I love them too, but man, they fall off all the time.
Oh, they're terrible.
I think
Like, the
Gary does it on
durability-
purpose.
The
Like,
durability is terrible. But they work though.
Uh-huh.
Like my buddy that I fished with Joel, like just today, he's like, I'm gonna have to use this. He like last resort will throw a Senko.
Uh-huh.
Last resort. He hates
he's a
throwing
crankbait
it.
guy.
Yes, moving
He's-
baits. He likes
okay,
moving
okay,
baits.
top water.
Yeah, although he doesn't throw top water as much. Crankbaits. He's a jig fisherman, like
Okay.
big time.
Okay, flipping.
Flipping or swim jigging. Like,
Okay.
and he's
Swim
gotten
jig,
into
oh.
swim baits a little bit.
Yeah.
And we've been killing them up here in swim jigs this year.
Uh-huh.
Just that's been the go-to bait.
That's
Like
my-
I've had one tied on all season so far.
That's my jam, dude. I love
Yeah.
a swim jig.
Oh,
like,
dude, they annihilate them.
Uh-huh.
Like, they choke them.
Yeah.
They just, and it's amazing to me how small of a bass can get that entire jig in his face.
isn't it crazy? Yeah,
With
you
the-
can catch like a
with
tiny
a 3.5
2-inch.
inch, 4-inch paddle tail trailer, and it gets the whole thing in there.
Yeah.
What in the hell, dude?
Yeah. The bass will be
Like,
smaller than the swim jig a lot of times.
It seems
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah.
Like, how did you? What?
Mhm.
We got a big crappie on. Was it a swim jig? It might have been. My buddy Joel did. I was like, dude, that's a nice crappie right there.
Where have you guys fished this season?
Oh God, we've been everywhere. So here,
You said you went to Chisago.
Yeah,
where
we fished Chisago a few times.
we actually had our first club tournament out there a couple weeks ago before we left for Tennessee. So
How did it turn out?
I got third. So
Boy,
dude,
with how much?
we had to do a
Oh,
paper
that's a
tournament.
paper tournament. That's right.
We had to do a paper tournament, so like it averaged out to be about 15 pounds or something like that. So we didn't have a bunch of crazy weights, but we had a lot of consistently good weights. A lot of guys caught over 13 pounds, so it's a pretty good lake.
I think 15 in Minnesota, any given event, is pretty good.
Oh, it's really good.
I mean, there's times it's going to take 18 on certain lakes, certain times, but if you were to average it out from spring, summer, all the way to through fall, I'd say 15 is probably pretty standard. I mean, you're going to be competitive if you can consistently put 15 on the board.
Unless you're at Mille Lacs.
Well, like we stated earlier, that is a different beast.
Yeah. True.
And I don't fish it that much. I really should. I mean, I just the same way I don't like touristy places.
Yeah.
I don't like the shit show that is Mille Lacs on the weekends.
Yeah, did you see it on Memorial Day weekend? I saw some people's videos and stuff. It was crazy.
I saw a glimpse of it. We came back. We fished a lake close that we fished.
A secret lake?
No, it's not a secret. Borden.
Okay.
Which is just right there.
Okay, yeah.
Like
I've heard of it
Northwest
before. I haven't fished it yet. It's over by Garrison, kind of.
Yeah, we did okay. A bunch of little ones. We didn't find anything good. It was that Sunday when the wind died. It was hot. The sun was shining.
Yeah.
They're pretty tough fishing conditions. And I heard people kind of struggled on Mille Lacs that day too. Did good in the morning as you would expect, and as soon as that sun got up, the fish just shut down.
Really?
But I went to the holiday station there in Garrison to get something, and you could see Garrison Reef, and it was shit stacked.
Yeah.
Like it would be
30,
in the winter.
40 boats,
yeah,
maybe?
like
Yeah,
it would be in the winter. It was like all the fish shacks, like the little villages that pop up there, except these were all boats floating.
Yeah.
There was like 3 of the big giant charter boats. Not charter, but what do they call it? I can't think of that name. What do they call them up there?
Not well,
charter.
they call them something, but
not charter
but
boats.
It's not.
God damn
they
it.
call them slaughter boats, but
boats.
But they can't really keep that many walleyes up there now. Right now,
yeah,
so.
you won between 21
Well, I
and
think
23.
it actually today's last day.
It is. Yeah,
I think today's last day. You
yeah,
can
those
keep one.
only
Yep,
for me.
so,
That's right.
Come midnight, you guys can't keep them.
The thing with walleyes, and I hear this from so many people, it's like, oh, it's not even worth going to Mille Lacs. You can't keep any fish. Dude, you're not going there to keep fish. You're going there for a good chance at a trophy walleye.
Yep.
I mean a good chance.
Yeah.
Like, if you spend a day out there, you're going to catch a 25, 26-incher, and you have a legit chance at a 28 and up.
And name another body of water that's within an hour of the Twin Cities that you can do that at.
You're going to catch a dozen 25-inchers.
Yep.
Literally a dozen of them. And you're going to catch them accidentally.
Yep.
When you're fishing for bass.
Yeah.
Like,
even when I'm up there guiding, sometimes we'll catch more walleyes than bass, actually.
It's silly.
There's so many in that lake, it's just unreal.
Yeah, you're not going there to keep fish.
No.
You're going there for action and big fish.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I mean, you should be going there for the smallmouth anyways. Cause
you should. It's seriously probably
legendary.
The best smallmouth lake in the country right now.
Well, it's got to be. I mean, I haven't personally fished Erie, but I know it's supposed to be really good.
And St. Clair is really good right now, too.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you follow the Sturgeon Bay Open at all, but like they really have whacked them the last couple of years.
Really?
I mean, consistently over 5-pounders, and then they'll catch they'll catch 6s and 7s they've caught. I wouldn't be able to tell. I think it was like 55 pounds or something it took to win or something. 60-some pounds maybe.
Absurd.
Yeah.
It's absurd.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
So it's like 20. You need like 26 or 27 a day or something to win it, I think it was.
I'd shit bricks if I caught a 7-pound walleye.
Well, let's go out there, man. The water's still probably. I bet they're not even spawning out there right now because the lake is so big and so deep.
Yeah, I believe that.
I bet it's. It was like 50s when they were out there, so I bet it's still in the 50s.
What's the temperature on Mille Lacs right now?
When I was up there the day before we had that snowstorm.
Oh, God.
Which was crazy. Like we're in the middle of May and we're getting snow still.
Stupid.
And it was 53 degrees is what I had. 53 to 55.
That was before?
That was before.
Oh, my God.
So, I mean, I've been kind of following different guys' Instagram and stuff, like Jeremiah Johnson guides up there as well. And he's saying that they're close to bedding, but not yet.
Wow.
But I'm telling you, dude, they're on fire up there right
That's
now.
what I've heard.
You need to go up there. But
Yeah.
don't go on there on a weekend, though. I always go out there during the week.
It's terrible. I just can't. I should go up there and another buddy of mine, we've talked about this, doing like a live podcast, play-by-play at the boat ramp, just because of all the clowns.
Oh, my gosh.
You have an unlimited amount of material. Like, it's just unbelievable, the stupid shit people do. The other day, and I put this on my Snap story, was I went to Big Marine here, and on a Thursday morning, the landing was full. I'm like, what in the fuck?
Yeah, that's when we were
on?
up there. We were on there on a Thursday, and literally we went out to Miramar, and I had to like idle around guys all over, and like
It's crazy.
Oh, there's tons of guys that go up there, and you would think it used to kind of affect the pressure, but I don't think it does anymore. I think those fish are kind of used to it.
Probably
maybe
they adjust, they adapt.
Maybe because it's around the spawn too, and like they haven't seen much. But like maybe come summertime it'll be tougher. But right now, dude, like it was.
Yeah, it'll get tougher in the summertime as it always does. But there was a bunch of vehicles, not a bunch. There was like 3 vehicles that didn't have trailers taking up spots, and they didn't park in tandem.
Oh, so they take one
They
one
each
spot.
took one boat spot, and then there was a spot that had just a boat trailer on it.
Did you check
No
the license
vehicle.
plates on them?
No, I was like, I had to park off on the side of the road, or I'm like, what is going on? But no, that's the thing. I always do the Game of Thrones meme where it's like, prepare yourself, winter's coming, and then people do the prepare yourself, whatever. That's like
Memorial Day weekend's
as
coming.
June rolls around. I always go I haven't made this meme. I'm like, prepare yourself. Professional smallmouth bass fishermen are coming like to Mille Lacs. Like June on Mille Lacs makes everybody look like Kevin Van Dam.
That's true. Everybody can.
You're going to catch them.
Yeah,
and it's amazing to see once like second week of July hits. Suddenly those posts disappear.
Oh yeah,
when those things move off.
Yep.
And they get on those big isolated boulders.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I don't know what you're talking.
Whatever, dude. I couldn't find him because I'm still using like a Helix 5 or whatever. I don't have side imaging. And
dude, let's go out sometime. I got probably 4,000 waypoints and boulders out there, dude.
Jesus.
We'll go out there.
That's what it is. Like you're like playing the video game to catch those things.
It's
right?
So much fun. Like in the summertime, like they'll get on them boulders, and you'll see like you'll go right over the top of them, and during a sunny day, they'll get right on top of the boulders. So you'll see the boulder, and then all of a sudden you'll see a hook right on top of it, and you just drop your drop shot right down on top of it, just jiggle a little bit. I'd say 90% of the time you'll catch them. It's on like Donkey Kong.
And then you kind of do like a milk run too. Like you can, if you like hit your waypoints. Like there's a fish there. He didn't bite this time. We'll come back to him later in the day.
Yeah.
When maybe he wants to eat later or whatever.
And I'm a firm believer that some of them have schools on them actually. Like you'll go to some of those boulders and they'll have like 8, 10, 15, 20 fish sometimes even, and they'll go on them and they'll go off of them too. Sure. So even if you go to one, hit it in another half hour, 15, 20 minutes. All of a sudden
they're moving around.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, Mille Lacs is such a different animal.
Dude, it's my favorite lake, dude. It's my favorite lake. It used to not be my favorite. I used to go for largemouth out on that lake. That's how bad it is.
Still a good largemouth lake that people don't really.
It's a little secret. Yep, it's a little bit of a secret. Yep.
Yeah, maybe a little secret. I think people know about it, but if you're going to a lake and you're weighing your options, like should we go largemouth bass fishing? Or do you want to catch a 6-mouth smallmouth?
Yeah.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yep.
6-mouth smallmouth it is. Because they just fight better.
Is there a 1,000,000 5-pound smallmouth or is there a 105 pound largemouth in the lake?
Yeah.
I'm going for the 1,000,000 5-pound smallmouth.
For sure.
Yeah.
Every time. I'm just going to pick smallmouth over largemouth every time. Even though admittedly, I'm not the greatest smallmouth bass fisherman.
Okay.
I mean, I do okay, but I'm not like.
I'm sure you catch them from time to time.
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously everybody catches them from time to time. But when it comes down to like, if I have to target them, that's more of a challenge.
Okay.
Than if I'm just pitching slop or pitching docks or whatever for largemouth. Like it's a different animal.
Yeah.
And electronics are important, especially midsummer when they go deep.
Oh yeah, it's super super huge. Like they'll spool up, and like if you don't have good electronics, you're not going to see any of those little white dots on your sonar.
How did they do it back in the day?
Before fish finders, man, I have no idea. Like
even GPS back in the day when you used to be like, okay, that radio tower. That taller pine tree, like you had to triangulate with 3 things to find these secret spots. And back then they were secrets. They didn't have these maps like they do now that show all the little reefs. And they didn't, especially with Mille Lacs, like only the guides that have been fishing it like their whole life knew where these things were.
Well, you would never even be able to find the boulders or the rock ridges or
you
the
almost
weeds.
Find them by accident. And then again, you're like, ooh, where am I? That tree, that house, like literally. And Mille Lacs, if you're in the middle, you're on those way out flats.
Yeah, you're out on Midget Saddle or something.
You can hardly see the shore.
Yeah,
like,
no, you can't.
What if it's foggy? You're screwed.
Yeah,
you'll never find that spot again.
Yeah,
never.
It's so amazing how bass fishing has come. Well, fishing in general has come the last few years. Like And it just keeps getting better. I mean, have you seen like the new Garmin?
Yeah, live scope.
Oh my gosh, dude! Like you could see the smallmouth like turn his tail and everything. It's like
Unbelievable.
you could like point it right to a bed and be like, okay, he's not in there, he's off to the side, or like he's in it, like point it under a dock to look for fish. Like
It's crazy. Some guys have it in our league, our ice fishing league. Now we don't allow them for tournament day.
they have the micro one.
No, it's a full one. So they don't
it's a
make
full-
like
okay.
an ice package for them. So the people like rig up their own. They make their own little
pack and bring
Yeah,
it out
and
there.
then they take
Wow,
it out
they're
there.
hardcore.
Yeah, it's cool. Like they can't use them. They're great for scouting. They can't use them during tournament day just because the reason behind it is like it just breeds controversy.
Yeah,
And
that's understandable.
well, and some people are like, well, because then only the rich people can afford it.
Yeah.
That's not really the issue. The issue is that because you can shoot so far. So say one team has live scope and they're over a deep water basin looking for schooling crappies, and they find them and he points to his partner. They're right there. There's nothing to stop you on the other team seeing him point and go race over there and drill where he's pointing.
Yeah.
But if you did that, that's probably a little unethical, but you could do it. And now you're just going to have a pissing match and shouting match between people. Like, we found those fish. You didn't find them. These are our fish. Well, they're not your fish. You don't own the lake. Like, it's a point of contention that would just cause problems or could cause problems. And pretty much everybody in our club is they're really cool dudes. So why introduce a thing that could be a stumbling block, that could cause a rift between people? Everybody's getting along right now. Let's not fuck with it.
Yeah,
Let's just
no,
leave
don't.
it.
Just
use it for scouting. That's fine. But so with that said, we were out and one of the guys, the teams had it out there, and I was like, I want to see that thing in action. And they hadn't really found anything on it yet. And my partner and I actually did find a school of crappies the old-fashioned way. When I say old-fashioned, I mean with our Vexlar.
your FL18.
Yeah, still with electronics. But they were all little dinks. And we're like, hey, there's some over here. Let's see this thing in action. He's like, all right. So he brings it over, and and you could just see the school swimming around. He's like, he goes, but that's just half of it. Watch this. He's like, all right. His partner goes over there, drills a hole, because you can see which direction they're swimming. He gets ahead of them, drills a hole. You can see the hole being drilled in the ice.
Because it shoots from the top of the ice there
all
the way to the bottom.
Yep.
Okay, yeah.
And then he drops the line down there, and you see the school, and then you see
bing,
one little one come up in there, and boom, there it is.
Oh, so you're watching him fish from over across the lake. That's so cool.
Yeah, it's sick, dude.
It's
like, it's so sick. Super cool. Like, and that on Mille Lacs would be invaluable.
Oh, completely. Like, you would be able to see where that fish moved if you, like, came up on the area that you want to fish. Okay, he just went over there. I'm just going to cast right over there.
Like those times, like when those schooling ones get on those boulders and they're not on the boulder, but they're off the boulder, you're going to see exactly where they are.
Yep.
You can literally cast 30 yards off that boulder because you're going to know right where they are.
Yeah, and you're pointing your trolling motor right at it, too.
Yeah,
so
and I know a lot of guys, they've been putting them, like, not on their trolling motor. Because I know some people put on a trolling motor and they'll just pivot the trolling motor to kind of sweep an area.
Yep.
Some guys are putting them on the side on their own with, like, a handle on it. So you can still be on spot lock on top, 30 feet on top of that boulder, and then swivel it.
Wow, they got a little handlebar.
Stick with me, kid. You'll learn something.
I like that. That's a good idea. We should make something and patent that, dude.
If I've thought about it, someone already made it.
No?
It's on a shelf right now, I guarantee.
Is it already there?
I don't know, but if I've thought about it, that means somebody else has had one in production for 2 years. This is the history of me coming up with brilliant ideas.
Yeah, we came up with SideScan 5 years before it came out. Yeah,
I came up with podcasts.
Yeah, I came up with
literally like 15 years before they came out. It wasn't really a podcast. That was on I won't bring that story up again, but I used to be in radio, and then I'll do the quick thing for you because you didn't hear it.
Yeah.
So I was in radio, and right at the time when they were still editing stuff on reel-to-reel, digital had just come out, but the programs are like super expensive. They literally like $10,000 for a digital editor.
Nobody could just buy it.
I couldn't afford that. Big radio stations, like big market radio stations had them, but the little markets couldn't even afford them. They were still doing reel-to-reel editing and stuff. But I conceptually thought of, and it wasn't really a podcast, but I thought of like, dude, if I could just afford that program, I could set up a studio in my house and produce commercials for people and just email them the content. So the small market that can't afford it,
you would do it for them.
They would just pay me a small fee, I mean, I could make hundreds of these a week.
And how many small markets out
Right,
there across
exactly.
the United States? Probably thousands.
And then on top of that, when I was working for a radio station, I'm like, God, I need to get an outdoor show going. And so it was like, if I could have just married those two things together, I literally could have had a podcast before they're even called a podcast.
What radio station did you work for?
A small market in Arizona.
Okay.
And then a small market in Iowa.
Oh, okay.
Then I had another move. It didn't work out in that radio station, and then I was going to move to War Road and work for the station up there, but we just couldn't come to a number. And small market radio, dude, you make no money.
Okay.
And like my daughter had just been born, like I couldn't do it. I just physically I couldn't do it. We would be homeless if I tried.
Yep.
So I just had to get out of radio and get a real job
and take up fishing.
Well, I've always fished. I've always fished. That was nothing new, but I even fished in Arizona. Why my dog is freaking the fuck out upstairs? Whatever.
You see, you never fished Havasu down there, dude.
No,
I heard
no,
that
I didn't
lake
do
is
that.
sick, awesome too. I mean, they got smallies and largemouth down there, so
really, it's probably has spots too. I would think.
You would think. I'm not 100% sure because I've never fished the lake, but you'd think they'd be down there. We should get some spots up here, dude.
I've heard a little bird told me that, and I'm not going to spill the beans, but that there's a lake in Minnesota that has spots. Now, one of the lakes that we fished on Memorial Weekend, the largemouth we caught looked like they had spots in their somewhere in their gene pool. Their eyes were like red.
That sounds like a spot then, yeah.
But it didn't have the color patterning. Wasn't the same as spots, and the mouth definitely wasn't small enough for
Did you run your finger over its tongue?
I didn't do that.
Okay.
Do they have teeth on their tongue?
They have little, it feels like our tongue almost. Yeah, so like a largemouth will be smooth. Yeah, it'll be rough.
I didn't know that about
it'll be rough on their tongue.
Oh, well, that would have been interesting. But I thought maybe there was just some smallmouth bass crossbreeding.
There's some of that goes on too.
Yeah, so maybe, but it was like almost every largemouth we caught in that lake had the red eyes. I was like, wow, this is trippy.
Maybe they're possessed.
Yeah, they're evil bass. The mean mouth. But the mean mouth is a spot in the smallmouth, isn't it?
You're asking the wrong guy, man. All I know is I was told that they all can kind of crossbreed with each other. Yeah, they can. But they prefer, I think, to breed with their own species.
Yeah. So I think, and I could be talking out my ass too, but I think they spawn at different times. Really close, but like a couple degree different preference.
Yeah, smallmouth are more of a cold water
so I think
fish.
That also kind of keeps them from hybridizing a little bit too, just that they have different times.
Yep.
Much like northerns and muskies. Like they spawn in the exact same habitat, but the northern spawn way earlier than the muskies.
Okay, so then it's really hard for them to actually
they do hybridize sometimes, but it's pretty rare without man getting involved and doing it artificially in a lab somewhere to make the tiger muskies and that. But and it's also really hard for muskies to get really established in a lake that has a strong northern pike population, because by the time those muskie fry hatch out, the northerns are already like 4 inches long.
Oh, they grow faster, actually.
Well, they spawned weeks earlier.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah.
So they've already hatched out. They're already starting to grow. Now these little tiny muskie fry that you can barely see hatch out in the exact same spot where these northern fry are
eating the muskies.
They just start going to town on the muskies, So it's really hard for muskies to get established in heavily populated northern pike lakes. But there's a tangent. Went off for no fucking reason. But
we could stop talking about northerns.
I'm good. We catch those things.
How much money do you think you've lost over the years fishing for bass?
Talk about
catching northerns.
Dude, it was stupid last year. So we go. Have you ever fished Pelican Lake in Orr, Minnesota?
I have not, but I heard there's some big ones in it. Should we go over there tomorrow?
Bro.
Should we go over? You gonna show me the spots?
There's so many spots. That lake you'll fall in love with that lake like that.
Okay.
Let's
do it.
A hidden gem for bass fishing.
You should be saying this on your podcast.
I know. I actually had somebody. I shared Pelican Lake, Orr, Minnesota, a Facebook post.
Yeah.
They're trying to drum up. So I shared their thing, and I mentioned that I was a guide and I've fished that lake for 40 years and blah 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 blah. I had a guy message me and basically telling me like, "Hey, zip the lip. Like this is a secret. You're going to ruin that lake." And I'm like, I get what you're saying, but that area is struggling. I mean, it's
okay. Is that just because of the job market? Is that what's going on up there?
Well, I think it's just it's a good thing for it and a bad thing for it is location.
Okay.
You know, it's 4 hours from here.
Yep, it's a long drive.
It's a long drive. So most people that go that far go right past it and they fish the bigger named waters.
Leech.
Well, it's not even on the way to Leech, like it's further east, but they're going to Rainy
Okay.
River, Rainy Lake, Cabotogama, Crane Lake.
Okay.
They might stop even before they get there to fish Vermilion and
yeah.
Cook. I
Yeah.
mean, that's before. And so it's just, I mean, there's other bigger name places to go that
Way up
just
north.
if you're already going that far, you're going to go to one of these bigger name lakes. Most people don't even know Pelican is on the map. And if you don't know about it and you drive past it on 53 and you just look at Ore Bay on your left, this looks like this shallow, choked out, tiny little swamp lake.
Sounds like
But
good
that thing-
largemouth water, dude.
Yeah, but that thing opens up
Okay.
and it's absolutely gorgeous.
Okay. Let's go
Islands
up there,
on
man.
it.
Now you're getting me fired up to
Dude.
go up to Pelican Lake.
You'll love it.
Now I'm
you
gonna.
will love it
Yeah,
because it has. Well, this is going to turn into a commercial for Pelican Lake, but it has. If you're a bass fisherman, you'd love that lake because however you like to catch them,
Yep.
it has it. You want to fish rocks for smallmouth bass, deep rocks, ledges, go do that. It's got it.
Sounds
You want to pitch slop for largemouth?
Yeah.
Go do that. It's got it. You like timber? Oh, there's tons of timber. Go do that. You want to run a frog over some lid pads?
Cool.
Let's go do that. How about swim jig through a giant reed patch?
Yeah.
All right, let's go do that.
Docks.
Tons of docks.
Wow.
How do you want to catch them? I guarantee you that lake has it.
That's awesome.
Guarantee you it has it. And it's got big ones in it. It's got, my sister 2 years ago caught a 6.5 pound largemouth in
Holy Toledo.
July. She's holding this. The picture of it is it's from her shoulder to her hip, and she's not holding it out. She's holding it close to her body.
So that's
and it's
way over 20 then. It's like
oh,
24.
Yeah, that
20.
was I don't know. I didn't measure it. We just weighed it. I should have put it on a tape. But yeah, it had to be 22, 23.
That's a good fish.
A
That's
beast.
A
It was just a giant. But you 3-pounders are
pretty common.
super common.
Really?
Like you stop caring about 17-inch fish. Like you just stop caring.
That's
You're like,
awesome.
Just another football.
I'm gonna have to
whatever.
talk to my bass club. We'll have to go up there sometime.
Dude, it'd be so fun. Well, it has a slot.
Oh, it has a slot. Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
there's a protected slot limit on it for
Okay.
bass. So
Okay.
I think it's what is it now? 17 to
19, maybe.
no,
20.
it's like 17 to 20 or 21.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's a pretty and it's been in place for 20 years probably.
Do you think that helps the lake?
Well, it definitely doesn't hurt it because people up there the people that do fish that lake are like families.
Okay. Yeah.
They stay for a week, and a lot of them are coming from like Indiana, Illinois, and they're very much you catch it, you keep it.
Okay.
You know, and I know a lot of people freak out when they see somebody catch and keep a bass, but people need to calm down because bass are sunfish. They're part of the sunfish family.
Yeah.
Like they reproduce like crazy.
Yeah.
They can handle some harvest.
Yeah.
Like these don't have to be this off limit.
As long as you harvest, those smaller ones.
Right, if you
and in
harvest
select
it
numbers.
Selectively.
Yep.
Exactly.
Mhm.
You keep those and we'll even do it. My whole family's up there and we have to feed 4 different families for a fish fry. Yeah, I'll keep some sunfish, I'll keep some crappies, I keep some northerns. We kind of keep everything we catch.
Yeah.
Well, I'll keep some bass, but I keep those 12 inchers.
Yeah.
Which is basically a big perch. I'll call them largemouth perch.
Yeah.
That's when I go to keep one. I'm like, oh, there's a largemouth perch.
Yeah.
That'll clean up just fine. Yeah, that fish, if I didn't eat it, was going to get eaten by a northern more than likely
Yeah.
that same year.
Yeah.
I mean,
And you need to keep those smaller on a lake that could,
yeah,
have that many fish on it. You got to keep some of those smaller.
people have
ones,
been
though.
keeping and eating bass on that lake since the history of people going up to that lake, and it is an awesome lake. So it's definitely not hurting it. And I do think that protected slot is helping them. So if you're going to do a tournament up there, it would have to be a paper tournament.
Which a lot of clubs do now.
Yeah,
Yep.
or I suppose you could probably pull a permit,
Okay.
do a one-day thing. I don't know how that works. I've actually thought about it. If I get established up there, which is kind of my goal, is to get to guide up there and work at the resorts up there.
Because you have a cabin up there though too.
No,
don't
we
you?
don't have a cabin up there. No, but we do. We know somebody that has a resort that hopefully.
What's the name of the resort?
Northland Lodge.
Okay.
Is
okay.
the
so if I'm going up there, stop there. And
yeah, you can check
introduce
them
myself,
out.
okay.
You could any of the lodges up there are great.
okay. Real nice people.
Yeah, dude,
Okay.
it's awesome up there. It's it's a really good community. Yeah, you'll love it up there. I'll have to plan a little outing when you get some spare time. We'll go up there. I'll show you around. I instantly will fall in love with it.
Okay.
Dude, the Linders fish up there all the time.
Oh, that's where they're making all their videos, huh? Okay.
Now they're gonna be mad at me for probably saying if this ever gets back to them.
They're gonna hear this.
Yeah, if they hear this,
Al's gonna give you a personal phone call tomorrow.
That'd be great.
And say, hey,
come on the podcast, Al, or I'm gonna give all your spots away. No, when they do their shows, so many times they're pretty good about their camera angles.
Yeah, they
you
are.
Watch their shows, like not giving away landmarks and stuff like that, because they don't tell you the lake they're on.
Yeah.
But we're fishing a northern Minnesota lake, and they're catching largemouth.
Yeah.
There's only so many northern Minnesota lakes that even have largemouth in them.
Okay.
And I remember, I'll never forget this one specific episode. He's doing his thing. He hooks this just pig of a largemouth. I mean, this thing was probably 6 pounds. I mean, it was a pig. And he's going on. He's like, this is probably the biggest, if not, one of the biggest lakes in the whole lake, Bob. And he's kind of, he's doing his deal. And there's a little bit of a wind that day.
Yeah.
And as he drifts over, the spot opens up.
And you're like,
yeah, I've seen that image as I'm so many times in my life. There was zero doubt in my mind
that it was pelican.
He was on that lake. I knew exactly what spot he was on.
And you fished the spot before.
I fished that spot a zillion times. The fact that I yelled to my television, get off my spot, Al.
Yeah!
But Al's older than me by a lot, and he's probably,
he's fished it for years.
That's his spot. That's not my spot.
Yeah.
But I was just like, get off my lake, Al. What are you doing?
And
there's pictures of him up in the cafe and stuff like that. It's not a secret that he fishes that lake, but
okay, it's like one of his go-to lakes, kind of.
Probably.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know how often his schedule allows him to get there. I've personally never seen him on the water there, but I know he fishes it. It's a great lake, dude. It's just, I love it. Now I want to go.
Let's go.
I got nothing going.
I bet they'll be spawning in a couple weeks up there. Maybe next week or the week after.
I just got her port. I think they said the temp is like 62 degrees.
60. So. They're probably spawning already.
Yeah,
the bucks are up there, so you go up there next week.
That snowstorm really knocked them back too.
Yeah, it was crazy cold up here when we were at the beginning portion when we were down in Tennessee.
Yeah, like I told, we talked on the phone. I said when I fished, I did a little science experiment almost on Chisago because when I fished it and I just lit them up the one Friday.
Mm-hmm.
They were spawning. They were on beds everywhere. I was throwing a swim jig around, and I got into one spot, and it was like every cast. Just I'd either miss one or hit one. I'm like, dude, this is insane.
Yeah.
Epic bass thumb that day.
Yeah.
Like in an hour. And I was out there for 4 hours, but I didn't put it together till like the last time. I was only I got 50 to 60 fish in like an hour and a half.
Uh-huh.
It was just stupid. So good. But then that storm hit.
Yeah.
So I went back I don't remember what day it was when I went back, and I'm like, well, I'm going to go check out this lake because I have a baseline. I know what the temperature was on Friday.
And what was it?
It was 64, I believe. 63, 64, depending on where you're at. And then when I went back and fished it, it was like 11 degrees cooler.
Yeah, that's what
10
happened.
to 11 degrees colder.
Because it was like a 40-degree day that next day or something.
And that rain was cold. Like it rained here, but yeah, it snowed in Mille Lacs. Mille Lacs from like where I'm at is like an hour and a half.
Uh-huh.
So it's really not that far away.
Yeah, it was like a full-fledged snowstorm.
Yeah, no, I saw the
almost.
pictures. It was crazy.
It's
like, it was unbelievable.
Uh-huh, yeah.
Stupid. Mid to late May, and we're getting snow.
And then we were on Chisago actually like the week. We must have been there like that Sunday prior, that Saturday prior.
Okay.
We were on there the day before Mother's Day because I remember we were going to have it on Sunday, but we're like, well, you can't have a bass tournament on Mother's Day. So
sure you can.
Well, that's true, but you ain't going to make any of the moms happy though. So we had it out there on Saturday, and yeah, it was hardcore pre-spawn. And I did the same thing like you kind of did. I went to a shallow bay, just an isolated type of bay. Threw a swim jig around just like you, and caught 15 pounds. Man, it was really awesome. And I went there in the morning, and I couldn't get them. I was like, what the heck's going on here? Why can't I catch them? The water had cooled off in that area because it was so shallow in the morning. I went back there around noon, and the last 2 hours, I basically called all my smaller fish.
Wow.
Out.
You think they're like as the water warms up, they're just turning on, or are they actually pulling out of that area?
I think it's a combination of both. I think the area that I was fishing, it had a lot of deeper water kind of close by.
Sure.
And I think they were there. I was just up shallow fishing for them with this swim jig. I should have pushed off and thrown like a Cinco around.
Because the water's pretty clear. And you can see them. If they're there, you'll see them.
Oh yeah, I mean where I was at, there was like 20 feet, like pretty close by.
Okay.
So like it's not like I was in like a real shallow bay.
Sure.
So yeah, I think they were there. If I would have just pushed off, threw a Cinco around, maybe fished a little bit slower when that water was cooler, I would have probably been able to catch them. But I was being stubborn, so like a lot of us fishermen are.
You get in your ways. You're like, this should work.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's not. So do something else.
Yep. Yeah.
Like,
That's what fishing's all about, though. Like if something doesn't work, you just got to keep trying something different until something works.
Yeah.
And eventually something will work. Or it won't, but
or it won't.
Or
Thank
it won't.
you, Captain Obvious.
Or it won't, but
it's either raining or it's not.
Thanks, weather guy. Yeah. So I mean, Chisago's it's an awesome lake right now.
Yeah, there's some good ones in there. Like real good ones in there.
We didn't catch many of them. I think one guy caught a 6 or something according to our inch scale, but
what was that? 23?
It was 22.5 or something. Brandon's fish was, but. It's if anybody wants to go fish a lake in the Twin Cities, I would say that's probably one of the better ones that you can go to.
It gets piss pounded, but you're still gonna catch fish.
Well, not as much as like North and South Center or Green or
you think it gets less?
Tonka. Oh yeah, I bet it gets less
than Green and all them.
North and South Center, I feel like it's a lot of pressure. I mean, there's a Frankie's out there. When's that? July or something or August?
I don't know. I need to get more in touch with the local tournament schedule, just to fish more. I just like fishing tournaments. Like I probably won't win them, but I just like fishing them. I like the challenge of it. Like it's just a different style of fishing.
It's completely different.
Your mindset is just. I mean, you're just grinding. For 8 hours, you're just like you're so tuned in. I mean, I get stressed out, but I like I like the stress.
And you're addicted to it. Aren't you? Yeah.
I love it.
It's
just awesome. Mm-hmm. And the first time the first club tournament I fished was just like, this is the shit. I love this.
I think everybody should. I think everybody should experience it at least once in their lifetime. Like,
what was interesting for me, like there was definitely like a paradigm shift for me. Like I always thought I was a good angler.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank you. And thought I was pretty good. Compared to most of my buddies, like I was far and away a better fisherman than they were.
And how old are you at this point?
Well, now I'm 46 now, but we don't need to talk about that. But when I joined the club, it was like the light bulb went off. We're like, oh, so I'm not that good. So these are good fishermen.
Who won the first club tournament that you ever fished? Do you remember?
I don't remember. It wasn't me. I just meant like, and everybody in my club, I'm with Loon State Bassmasters in the state here. Like, everybody's pretty competitive. Like, they're all really good sticks. Mm-hmm. And any given event, any of them could win. Mm-hmm. Like, literally any of them could win. And they have. Like, nobody's really run away with it in the 2 years that I've done it. This will be my third season. Like, no one's ever really run away with it.
Okay.
With that said, I would say Tom Kiefer, our president, he's the one to beat. For sure. Because he made state team.
Yeah, he was just down in Gunnersville with my buddy Kent
a
little while ago, a few weeks ago, a month ago or so. But
they made
he almost made it. He fished on the final day. I think he got second place like by 4 ounces behind Kent.
I've been bugging him, trying to get him on the podcast to kind of pick his brain on that, but we'll get him on eventually. But,
let's bring them all on.
Yeah, and his wife Amy, she's
super nice.
She's super cool.
Really, really nice.
And she's a good stick too. I mean, she's fishing non-boulder, but she can hold her own. I mean, she's a good stick.
Yeah, she fishes in your club too.
Yeah.
Then? Okay.
Yeah. Wow. We have two lady anglers.
That's so cool. That's so cool.
Yeah, super cool.
There's a couple that fish the Bassmaster Opens.
Paul's a really good stick too. Like, she intimidates me. Like her ability is that she intimidates me. She's a legit force to be reckoned with.
Do you fish as a boat? You fish as a boater, right?
Yeah.
And you're a Ranger?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
I need to upgrade that thing. At least upgrade my electronics.
What year is it?
I think it's a 3.
2003?
Yeah, but the
you don't need
motor's an 06.
You don't need to upgrade
I need to upgrade electronics.
The electronics
Big
you
time.
could, yeah.
So what I would like to do, the things I want to put on it, I'm basically going to upwards around $10,000 worth of stuff. So at that point, you're like, do I just upgrade the boat?
No, you don't. No, because
the same to get something that
the
has
boat doesn't catch the
it.
fish. You catch the fish.
Well, true, but I mean, it's getting a little beat up. I mean, And I wouldn't mind a bigger boat.
Like, well, how big is it now?
We'll get to tandem. It's the 18-foot.
18-foot.
18.9 or no, 19-footer or whatever. They call them 19s, but they're what?
That's like the same size boat I have. I mean,
yeah,
it's a
no, it's
smaller
fine
boat,
for
but
me. But like when it comes time to like guide, a couple extra feet is a lot.
it's a little tight.
I mean, it helps
Mhm.
to have that extra space for
Mhm.
sure. When you're dealing with people that aren't as good at casting.
You don't want to get hooked.
Yeah. So having a little space between me and the clients is not a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I go back and forth. It's like, do I upgrade the whole works?
Well, how about you maybe get a job at Gander Mountain, get a discount on your electronics, and
Yeah,
then you
there you
upgrade
go.
your boat. There you go. Now you
I
get
should
both.
Get a part-time
Now
job
you
at
get both.
Gander.
There
I
you
do
go.
I had my reservations
Uh-huh.
when Gander Mountain went out of business.
Yep.
And then Camping World bottom. I was like, great.
Yeah. Marcus Lemonis.
They were dialing everything back. But I have to be honest, I like it.
Yeah, they're coming back now. They're starting to open up some more stores up here. So
they don't have as much stuff as they did at Gander Outdoors, but it's everything you need.
Yeah.
They don't have bullshit lures anymore. Like they used to have a bunch of bullshit, like
stuff that nobody threw. Yeah, now it's
like it has the stuff you need. I'm not sponsored by Gander. I don't work there. I have no reason to, but I'm telling you, if you've been avoiding Gander since Gander Mountain shut down, do yourself a favor and go in. They have what you need, I promise you. And their prices are fair.
Yeah.
If you do their Friends of Sam or whatever, you
Good
get a
Sam,
couple
Good
extra.
Sam
The
discount.
Good Sam discount.
Yep.
You get a little bit more discounts on it.
Yeah, I think it's 5% or something.
Yeah, I mean it's not a ton, but it's a little bit. And then but you can get some really good sales. Like I know my buddy Joel, he's like doubled up on soft plastics. They already had a sale. And then he had a coupon like $10 off or whatever, or additional something percent off pre-Memorial Day sale or something.
Yep.
And then his whatever it is, he said Friends of Sam or whatever the hell it was, that on top of it, and he just got a shit ton of plastics for like super cheap. Yep. I'm like, holy crap!
You don't gotta wait for it to ship in. You just go right down. I mean, how far away is the Forest Lake store? Probably not that far from you here.
From here, it's super close. I'm like 10 minutes away from it.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, not anymore because it's all in construction. I got to go way the hell around. Now it's like 30 minutes to get to the damn thing. So hopefully they fix that.
But you're right though. I went into one. I don't know, a couple weeks ago. They got a lot of stuff.
They have what you need.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they have what you need.
They got river to sea stuff. They got all them Senkos that you may or may not throw. Like
I will throw. I love Senkos.
They got
Joel
frogs.
Not so much.
Yeah, Joel doesn't like throwing them. No,
he hates them. But it actually is kind of fun because it gives a little rivalry between us because it does the friendly shit talk of Senkos versus Senkos.
How do you even fish them then behind them?
Well, I don't.
Oh, you don't? You'll just fish fast then too?
I'll just fish fast too. It's more of like, it's not really a point of contention or an issue until the fishing's tough enough where he has to put on a Senko, and then I just smile.
Then you're just like,
because he just shit talks it 99% of the time, and then the one time he has to tie one on, he's like, son of a bitch. I'm like, yes.
Then you know it's tough. Then you know it's
right.
really, really tough.
Yeah, it's tough for him. Yeah, well, it just means that the moving baits aren't working. Because there was a time here we were fishing Linwood Lake, which is real close, and that's just what the bite was. He was throwing his stuff, and I was lighting them up with the Senko. They were in super shallow, like tight to the cattails.
Yeah,
I think they were hiding underneath like the bog or whatever, and I was lighting him up, and he just couldn't buy a bite. He was pitching jigs to him, and they just wouldn't touch it. And eventually he's like, I can't believe you're doing this to me. I got a tie on a Senko. I'm like, yes.
Dude,
yes.
They just flat out just catch fish.
Dude, I mean, man. They just, I don't know why they work so well. They just do. They don't do anything.
No, they
wobble a little bit. I mean, Texas rigged, or you can wacky them and make them bounce, and you can, when they put the nail in the end? Nico rig, you can do that. There's different things you can do with them, but for the most part, they don't do a damn thing.
Yeah, I remember when they first came out, we had a club tournament. I used to fish in a club, the St. Croix Bass Anglers out of Hudson, and the guy, he worked on their staff. He fished in our club. He started throwing them. He won one of our club tournaments. He blew everybody away, and he's like, "Yeah, this is the bait I'm throwing." He tossed one to me, and I'm like, are you serious? It looks like a pencil, dude. Right. It looks like a pencil.
It's not a ribbon worm. It's nothing.
No, it's not a topwater. It's not a frog. It doesn't really imitate like anything.
It doesn't look like anything they eat in nature.
No, it doesn't. It's super crazy that they would eat, and big ones eat it too.
Dude,
yeah.
They crush it.
Yeah.
So I won my little trophy there, my one and only bass trophy.
The
on
Loon
Green-
State
yeah,
Bassmasters.
on Green Lake. I won my first event with the club last year.
Right down the road here? Or is this
yeah,
a
up by
different,
Princeton.
or is this Spice? Oh, okay, by Princeton. Okay.
Yeah, between Cambridge and Princeton.
Okay, that Green Lake, yep.
That was pretty much one with the Senko.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What time of year was that?
Oh, gee, that was later, too. That was like August.
August. Okay.
Was it September? I don't.
Wow, the rain's really
Holy
coming down.
crap! It's raining like a sumbitch. Because that's what we need is more rain.
Oh yeah, dude, it's so flooded.
Everywhere is flooded. Everywhere.
We came back from Chickamauga, and like the whole Mississippi's like we went through St. Louis. It's like all flooded through there. Like they can't get their crops in Iowa.
It hasn't
like,
been not flood stage, I don't think, this year.
Oh, on the Mississippi?
The moment it gets within its banks, a little, even the smaller rivers, we get a big storm.
Yeah,
right back over.
Yeah, yeah. They had to reschedule the St. Jude. I don't know if you've ever fished it before, but it's a big tournament down there in Wabasha, and they're supposed to have it at the beginning of May. They rescheduled for the second week in June, so June 7th or 8th or whatever, and I don't even think they're going to be able to have it. They're going to have to reschedule maybe to July or just cancel it. I don't know.
Yeah, they might just have to cancel it. It's just crazy.
Yeah, it's all up in the trees still, yeah.
Yeah, but that one, like, I caught some of my better fish came underneath. It was just like an overhanging willow tree.
Okay, yeah.
In like a foot of water, if that.
All the fish came from underneath?
No, not all of them, but a lot of fish, because when we went in the weigh-in, there were other boats that were hitting that spot.
Oh, okay.
So you just had to like let it. You'd catch the fish, leave it alone, and it would like recharge.
That's
and
cool.
new fish would move into that area.
That's cool.
I don't know why they like that area so much, because it was basically weed free.
I
mean, there's a big shallow weed flat in front of it.
Okay, yeah.
And that's just kind of sand underneath it.
Yep.
But it hangs out way over.
Okay.
I mean, it kind of seems weird that they're there if you're not used to fishing really shallow. See, I am not afraid to get skinny. Yeah. I'm not afraid to throw in spots that people think I'm stupid for throwing.
Are you the John Cox of Minnesota?
Maybe.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Don't know who that is.
Yeah, John Cox. He's super famous. He's a pro fisherman on the FLW tour.
See, that's the thing. Like, I'm like really into this, and I want to get into tournament fishing. But to be honest, I don't really follow professional fishing that closely. Like the new names that are coming up, like I'm not like
roll with me, kid. I'll teach you.
Yeah. Well, so my buddy Joel, he follows it.
Yeah.
My buddy Jimmy follows it, and so those two get
What's
together.
Joel's last name? It's not
Kotke.
Willard. It's not Willard.
No, Kotke.
Okay.
And so these two buddies will get together, and Jimmy's from North Carolina. Well, actually, he's from here. He lives in North Carolina. And when they get together, they just tip. So-and-so got this. Did you watch this event? Oh, yeah, he killed it. I'm like, what the hell are you guys talking about? I'm not watching. I'm fishing. I'm not paying attention to this stuff. But, yeah, I know all the, like, Kevin Van Dam, Mike Anelli, Ish Monroe. Like, I know a few, Jacob Wheeler, Seth Fighter, all that. But some of these names I don't know.
John Cox is the Tin Man. He's the guy that fishes out of the aluminum boat, and he just goes shallow all the time.
Okay.
Yeah, he won the FLW Tour event like 2 weeks prior to Chickamauga, and then he goes down there and fishes the Open, and he wins that too.
Okay, the name didn't. I know who you're talking about now. The name didn't ring a bell, but I do know who you're talking about.
Yep.
Yeah.
So he always fishes shallow.
I probably am. I definitely lean more towards shallow water fishing.
Yep.
And a lot of times to my detriment. Like, I need to work on my deep fish game.
Okay.
A little bit.
Okay.
And so Joel and I think we complement each other really well when we fish together, because he is he likes the deep weeds, jigging deep weeds or drop shot or stuff like that. And then I'm more shallow inclined. So it's like we have our strengths if one thing's working versus the other. Because the other day when we were fishing, we found them super shallow, like shallower than we could get the boat. But that's where they were at. And you just had to make long bomb casts. I was throwing a Senko. He refused. But he was still catching on some jig. So he caught more than I did, to be honest. Of course, he was front-ending me, but whatever. It doesn't matter. And whatever. Not bitter at all. Actually, I'm not.
Joel, don't listen to this, bro.
Yeah.
He's not listening right now.
He'll listen.
Oh no!
he'll hear this. It's fine. I'm just giving him shit. I actually don't care. When I go fishing and I fish out of his boat, I always take the back seat. Like I'll take the front, like if he's tying, and as soon as he's ready, I jump out. Like I don't care.
I'm the same way.
I don't care. It doesn't bother me.
When we're
at all.
fun fishing, it doesn't really.
Yeah, I don't give two shits. Like I really don't care.
Even during a tournament
I'm not
situation,
even really that competitive with him, which is weird because I'm competitive with almost everybody.
Uh-huh.
But when we fish together, I'm just like, just having a good time, hanging out, catching fish.
We're
like,
just going out fishing,
yeah,
bro.
like I don't get. I don't know, for some reason I don't get competitive with him.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it is because we have totally different styles. But when we found him really shallow, he's like, I never would have fished here. I'm like, really? I was like, why? He's like, I don't know. It just never occurs to me. I'm like, dude, I've caught so many fish out of like, honestly, water you wouldn't think you could catch a fish out of.
Mm-hmm.
Like, going back to Pelican Lake, there was one year, and I put the puzzle together after like why they were here and where I found them.
Yeah.
We kind of struggled through the week. We still, a bad week up there is still pretty good, but we weren't catching them like we used to catch them. We weren't catching them where we used to catch them.
Okay.
And so I just started trying stuff, and I was going really shallow, and these fish were like on shore. Now, this is like end of January, early August. Like, this isn't spring of the year where they're trying to get warm. Like, you think it's hot, they should be out deep. They were like basically on shore.
Okay.
And anything that cast a shadow.
Yeah.
If it was a dock,
yeah.
If it was an overhanging
willow
branch,
tree,
if it was a willow tree,
yeah.
There's no willows up there. But if it was, it could be a single little stick. It didn't have to be very big, size of a baseball bat.
Yeah.
Overhanging or sticking out of the water, cast a little bit of a shadow. There didn't have to be anything else around it. It could be like a barren wasteland all the way around it. No weeds, just that one stick. There's a fish on it, I guarantee it. And sure enough, I started putting it together. I'm like, I don't know why they're here, but I'm not arguing with it.
Yeah.
And it was funny because my brother was with me, and he's like, why are we in this bay? There's never been fish in this bay. And he would be like questioning me, and then all of a sudden I would catch fish or he would catch a fish. And he's like, I can't believe there's a fish there. And then he would like, why? I don't know why we're fishing here. It's not gonna be. And so this kind of repeated throughout the day. And he's like, you know what? I'm just gonna stop saying that because obviously they're here. I'm like, thank you.
Yeah.
But they were. So we went for a little hike one day. So towards the end of the week, we'd like go look for blueberries or whatever it was in this big island. And there was crayfish running around on land.
No way.
Yeah. So he's crawling. They're molten.
Oh, okay.
When they molt, they climb out of the water to help them shed their exoskeleton or something.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
I didn't even know
that.
this.
Yeah, I found this so this happened on Vermilion once. They were literally up on top of the rocks.
Okay, up right along the shore, yep.
Right along shore, but they were out of the water on top of the rocks, and the smallmouth bass were right there waiting for them.
As soon as they molt, they go back in the water, and the smallmouth are waiting right there.
You throw a tube in there, and because their shells are soft, they haven't hardened yet.
Yeah, so they're nice
new
and
shell.
tender.
Oh, yeah. They're like
juicy fruit
for smallmouth.
Uh-huh.
Gushers.
Yeah.
I mean, they're, candy, smallmouth candy.
Yeah.
So you'd pitch a tube in there, and you just smash them. So I guess I don't know this for scientific fact, but this was my theory that week while we were catching them so skinny right on shores because they were waiting for those crayfish to come back in.
Okay.
Whether they're crawling out or crawling back in or whatever, I think they were definitely relating to why the crayfish were crawling out of the water. They were waiting for them to come back in.
Interesting.
It's the only reason they would be that skinny in those places at that time of year.
Uh-huh.
Why else would they be there?
I think a lot of fish stay shallow all year round.
I think there's some that do for sure.
Yeah, resident fish. Yeah.
I think there's some that do for sure.
Those smallmouth though, I don't know. Sometimes they're up shallow.
Well, these were more largemouth we were catching that week.
Largemouth on the on Pelican.
But the weird thing about Pelican, and I think it's just a population thing. I think there's so many fish in there, so many. You'll catch
so many.
You'll be
pounders.
Yeah, you'll be pounding slop for largemouth, whatever, and you'll catch a 4 or 5 pound smallmouth in the slop. You're like,
that's nuts.
What are you doing here, bro?
Yeah.
Like, what the heck? We've caught them off the dock right there off of Northland Lodge, and it's all weedy right there. There's no reason for a smallmouth bass to be there.
There's just such a big population of them in the lake.
Yeah, or they're just, there's crayfish everywhere. Literally everything eats crayfish on that lake.
Okay.
Everything. You'll clean a crappie, and there'll be like a 1-inch crayfish in its gut.
Okay.
Everything. Northern pike will have crayfish in their gut.
Okay.
Like, every time we clean fish, you find crayfish.
Mm-hmm.
Like, every fish has a crayfish in it. That's what the fish on that
it's
lake
like Mille Lacs,
eat.
then.
They eat crayfish.
That's awesome.
That's like, you can throw any lure you want as long as it looks like a crayfish.
So don't throw a slop frog there.
Yeah. No, actually they do. They annihilate.
In crawfish
frogs.
pattern, though.
Yeah, they annihilate frogs in that lake. Yeah, there's lots of good slop on that lake to be had too. Dude, I had so much fun on it last year because it was at like record water levels. It was so high. So that like opened up areas that I never would have been able to fish before.
Really?
Generally, like, I'm not going in there. It's like a huge expanse of like 1 to 2 foot water, and yeah, you might catch 1 or 2 in there, but it's just a pain in the dick to get back in there. It's you're going to be cleaning weeds out of your trolling motor all the time. But now it's up like 2 feet.
So the weeds are down there. You can just go back
now
in
you
there.
can get back in there. I fished spots I've never fished there in the 40 years I fished it, and it was shit stacked with fish.
Wow.
And I was the only boat fishing them. Yes.
Well, it's not that popular of a lake, so like even when you
not.
go up there on a weekend, like it's still
not
pretty.
there's, and you don't see a lot of bass boats up there too.
It's mostly walleye, guys.
You'll see 1 or 2. It's not even so much walleye. It's not really known as a walleye lake. There are walleyes in it. It's that family style.
Okay.
Just go out, anchor up, using bobbers and worms, and like not hardcore fishermen. It's the one time a year vacationer family fishing people that really fish that lake. You'll see some people like, and you can just you're like, oh, there's a bass boat. Does he know what he's doing? And you just watch where he goes. You're like, yeah, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, no
shit.
He's not going to my spot over there, is he?
Yeah,
he is.
But then you watch him like he's a bass boat. And he's like, I don't have to worry about him. I don't know what he's doing out there. Whatever.
There's nothing out there.
Forget that guy. I don't know what the hell he's fishing for. Whatever. Or maybe he knows something I don't, but I don't know what that guy is. Back in the day, I remember we used to live a mile from there. And there was I remember we'd just hang out at the resort, and people we knew that owned it. And this guy came in. This is when you kept everything. Like catch and release wasn't a thing. We were talking like late 70s, early 80s, before catch and release really kind of caught on. You caught a fish, you just kept it. There was a dude up there, and I think he was a pro angler. I don't remember his name. I don't think I ever caught it. But he had a stringer, like a legit stringer of like 6-pound bass. Every time he came in to the dock, every day, he had a stringer full of giants. And he was tight-lipped. He wouldn't say where. He wouldn't say on what.
They're still in there, though, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe not in those numbers, but they're in there. There's good ones in there, dude.
What are you doing next weekend, Dale?
What am I doing next weekend? I feel like I have something.
Next weekend would be, this weekend is the 1st, right?
Oh, I have a tournament.
Yeah. Oh, you have
our first club tournament.
Okay, on Lahamadou.
Yeah, and then I have a memorial service to go to that Sunday, so that weekend's shot. But the following weekend,
we're going up there.
We can go up there if you want to.
Well, actually,
they should be done spawning. They should be out of the post-spawn slump by then, setting up in their summer patterns.
Yeah, the weeds will be up. Flipping milfoil. Yeah, let's do it.
There's not a ton of milfoil up there. Lots of cabbage, though.
Okay. Cabbage is the juice, man. Cabbage is the juice.
Lots of cabbage.
I like that. Okay.
And lots of timber. There's a pattern on that lake I really like to hit, and I'm not going to say it on this podcast.
There's
a particular spot on that lake that has wood on it, and it is fun. It is fun. Yeah. And I have my go-to spots for sure.
Yep.
Like there's my daughter, well, my whole family goes up there, but my daughter, she went out with us, and we were all catching fish, and for whatever reason, she was just struggling. She was getting really irritated.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, when we go back, I'm going to drop everybody out. I got a spot for you. Like, you will catch a fish in the spot.
Yeah.
You better. Hand her a Senko.
Yeah. Wacky rig?
Go to my, let's see. I think I did. I had weighted wacky.
Yeah, weighted wacky. Okay,
yep, weighted wacky. So normally I'll fish, especially people that don't really know what they're doing or good at casting. I'll give them just a weightless Texas rigged one because it's really hard to snag those. Obviously,
it goes through the
so
weeds
it's good.
And everything.
Yeah, so it's good for people that aren't good with casting. I like that, but I do the wacky rigs I use do have a brush guard on it. Yep. So it was a down tree.
Okay.
So I got right to the end of it with just a little, like a short cast, 20-foot cast, and because it drops off really deep right over the top of this tree, and there's a bunch of rocks and there's weeds around it. You can see why there's fish there.
Ooh, this sounds nice.
Yeah, so she casts. I'm like, just let it fall. Just let it fall. You're gonna see your line. You're probably not gonna feel anything. You're gonna see your line jump. Watch your line. Don't. Boom! It jumps. I'm like, all right. Just pause a half second. Reel down. Now just pull back as hard as you can. 17-inch largemouth. I'm like, all right, we're good. couple pictures.
Yeah.
All right, now we can go back. She was
Let's go to
like,
the next
she's like, I'm
spot.
good. No, she's like, that's all I wanted was one. I'm good. I'm like, okay, all right, perfect. Let's head back.
Yeah, I can't do that.
it's supper
Dale.
time.
I gotta keep catching more,
Yeah,
more,
yeah,
more,
yeah.
more, more. Like, I'm not satisfied with one. I want to catch 40 or 50 in a day. Like, that's really what I like.
Yeah, there's another down tree right by the resort that one day me and my nephew Trent, we just went blow for blow catching fish off it. I think we caught like 18 fish off of it.
Off one tree.
Off one tree.
That's cool.
Stupid.
That's cool. Yeah.
It was just dumb. And he was throwing a Senko, I was throwing a jig. Didn't matter.
It didn't matter.
But so like the first like 3 fish were decent.
Yeah.
And then all the ones after that they got progressively smaller. I think as we pulled those, the fish that owned that tree or whatever, the other ones just kind of filtered. But literally it was like, boom, I got one. Boom, oh, I got one. Boom, now I got one. Boom, now I got one.
Yeah.
It's like the only time somebody could get ahead if you got snagged or you had to retire something and you
Right.
gave enough downtime to let the other person
to throw in there.
Yeah, to catch a couple until the other person got,
Uh-huh.
back in the action or whatever, and then just right back to trade and blows. Like, I'm like, I can't believe how many fish are coming off this one stupid tree.
Yeah, it happens all the time. Even docks, too. You can catch schools under docks, too, which is
Yeah.
just nuts. Like, up at Pechacek, I heard a bunch of guys actually, like, one dock, you'll catch, like, 4 legals. Like, there'll be a whole, like,
Wow.
wolf pack of them just sitting right underneath one dock.
Wow.
You'll go no fish, no fish, no fish off all these docks, and then all of a sudden one dock will have all of these fish.
That's
underneath them.
crazy. So this, as usual, this podcast has turned into nothing like what I planned it to be, but I am going to bring it back. Now, let's talk tournament bass fishing.
Okay, yeah.
All right. So I was going to talk to my original guest, and so it'll be interesting when they finally do reschedule him on. I can get his take, and then just kind of compare notes. But so let's say you're gonna fish. You're fishing a tournament.
Yep.
You've never fished that body of water before.
Correct.
So you know what's coming up.
Yep.
Walk through, like, what do you start doing? Do you start looking at lake maps?
Yep.
Aerial photos?
You're on the right track.
What do you?
Normally, like, I'll look to see, like, when it is, like, the time of the season, like, normally determines kind of what I'm going to look for. I'll take in, like, when we go to, what's the next one? The next open is on the James River in Virginia. I've never been there before. I know it's a tidal body of water, but other than that, I don't know really hardly anything about it. So you can go online, you can just Google, like, James River bass tournaments. You look up results, see, like, kind of what you need for weight, because that's a good gauge of, like, what size fish you should be looking for. And then you can, like, look up, like, different baits and techniques and stuff like that.
What has worked in the past?
Yeah,
kind of
what's
stuff
worked
like
in the
that.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. And then you just kind of, like, just try to rip off and duplicate, R&D it, and then actually just go out there and just try to fish your strengths. Like that, I think that's really a key when it comes to tournaments. Like, don't go to a lake that you don't know and just try to, like, maybe do something that you've never done before. Like, maybe it's good, like, during when you're, like, out fun fishing, but when you're trying to practice for a tournament or actually fish a tournament, just fish what you're confident with, because fishing with confidence is, like, really key in this game.
Yeah, I agree. I was going to hijack that, but go on off on a
No,
tangent. I'm going to
hijack
let
it
you
all
keep
you-
going. No,
I'll-
I'm just going to let you keep going. You're on a roll.
Yeah, so I look at Google Earth a lot. Google Earth is kind of key. Like, that spot that I found for Chisago, like, I was the only guy in there, but it's just, an area that you can get into just really, really tight, and you can get in there and you can fish. Like, I think that's key. Like, using your electronics a lot, so once you get to the body of water, I think I idle more than anybody. Like, I was telling you, you should come up to me.
And you're graphing and just looking what's...
I've spent, like, days and days, like, just idling on Mille Lacs, just looking for those big boulders. Like, dude, like, I kept all my tracks, like, where, like, you would see, like, going back and forth, and you would just, like, cover the whole area. So, like, I have a good idea of, like, okay, this is the biggest boulder in this area. I know they're going to be on that spot. I'm not just aimlessly fishing wherever.
Yeah.
So I think that's super key. Like, if you're going to fish a tournament, I would idle at least 50% of the time and look at your graph, if not 60 or 70%.
How much time do you have to pre-fish before the event?
It's
up to you, depending on how often you can get. Do they have an off-limit
No,
time?
not for the Opens. For the Elite Series, they do when you Dale qualify for the Elite Series. So
okay,
they'll take and they'll have a cutoff.
I like
then.
your confidence there.
Yeah, dude, you got positive mental attitude, dude. Believe that it's gonna happen, and it will happen. I'm telling you.
Visualize it. Visualize it.
Well, you visualize this podcast, and what happened?
Oh, there you go.
It happened, right?
Yeah, you gotta make it happen.
So there's no cutoff though for the Bassmaster Opens.
Okay.
If there's some guys from Minnesota, like the guy that I practice with, Denny Fiedler, he's fished the Denny's a lot, the Denny's Super 30s on Minnetonka. he just goes from every event basically. He'll fish one event, he's retired now, and then he'll just go to the next event. And he'll fish all it. Yeah, dude, that's the life. Like just traveling the country,
sponsors.
fishing.
Come on, sponsors,
dude,
pick up the tab. Let's go.
You worked in radio, man. I'm sure you know a lot of people. So
I was terrible at sales, though.
Just call up all your marketing buddies from these radio places,
right?
man. I'm telling you, they probably got some connections you can pull.
Send me on the tour. Let's go. Let's do this.
Yeah. But for the working man, like you and me, like what Kent and I and Casey do, we all ride together in the same vehicle. There's 2 co-anglers and a boater, and we all work Monday through Friday jobs. So like the Friday before the event, we'll take and work that day, and then we'll leave that evening. And we're like hardcore about it, so we'll drive all the way through the night.
That's awesome.
Like when we went to Chickamauga, we left at like 6 p.m. We got there at like, 11 a.m. or something the next morning. So we'll just rotate shifts. And then we'll practice Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and then a half a day.
That sounds like so much fun. Like you're saying it, it's like it's this grind, it's miserable, and I'm over here, my smile just is growing. Like, okay, I'm going to go on a little bit of a tangent. It'll be short, I promise. But it's like when I duck hunt, like I'm a huge waterfaller.
Yeah.
I pick the spots that are like the least accessible that I know nobody will go to, and they are an absolute pain in the ass to get to. I'm sweating my balls off. It's 45 degrees, but I'm sweating because I've got decoys on my back. I'm hiking in my waders. I got my fucking gun. I'm trudging through sludge, and when I finally get there, I'm all by myself. I don't have to worry about anybody else. I may even shoot a duck. A lot of times I don't. It doesn't matter to me. Like it's like the journey to get there. Like I love all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like getting up early, the setting the decoy, like all of it. So like what you just described is some people are like, holy crap, that's such a grind. Like you got to be so tired and you get all that. It's such a long drive and something like. This just all sounds good to me.
We just do it. We just do it, man. Like it's the whole experience. I think it's not just catching the fish.
And I think
fishing.
it really like bonds people as as the friendship. You know, it kind of goes back to like when we're hunter gatherers. You know, you had to go. On a hunt. If you guys weren't successful, your village didn't eat. You're putting yourself at risk. It's a really important thing to do. So you're like, you take on this challenge that is very physically demanding, emotionally demanding, dangerous, whatever. And that camaraderie, that bond that you build with the people that you share that with, like you're not going to get that over drinking Mountain Dew and playing Modern Warfare with your buddies.
Well, some people might, but not us.
It's not going to be the same.
No, it's
Listen,
not.
I used to love that shit.
Yeah.
And I just I haven't turned that Xbox on.
Shark, where you at? Let's
is
all
he a
play.
Is Shark a gamer?
Yeah, he's a gamer, dude. That's why I texted you.
I know you texted me that, and I'm like, is he a gamer?
Yes,
I know that.
I bet if you texted Shark right now and said, "Hey man, the system's running," he'll be over here, and we'll all be playing.
Dude, he's gonna be like, that thing's a dinosaur, bro. It's an Xbox 360.
We'll just have him bring his over then. We'll all game all night.
Or maybe
long.
he'll like it because it's retro.
Yeah, he will, dude. N64 is like the in thing. Yes, they're like remaking them and like selling them. Yeah,
but if you don't have to blow on the cartridge to get the thing to work, I don't want to talk to you, bro.
No,
that's where this is my. I walked to school uphill both ways.
Yep.
This is my story growing up. You kids don't even know what it's like. You get to download your game. Stop it. We had to literally blow into our cartridge to get the game to work.
Duck Hunter? Duck
Hunt?
Yeah, that's the best one.
Dude,
yeah,
that one. I've tried to shoot that dog so many times. Some bitch laughs at you when you miss.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
Stupid dog. I need a new dog that doesn't laugh at me.
Yeah.
It's terrible. No, dude. Yeah, I was a gamer from way back, but I just got out of it. I mean,
Are you a 70s baby?
I was born in 1973, so
73,
kind of
70s baby.
Kind of. More of an 80s child of the 80s, really, when you actually, start exploring the world, and becoming who you're going to be, developing your personality. I mean, like in 1980, I was 7, so,
I don't know when N64 came out, though. Sometime maybe in the 80s, 90s
no, maybe? 90s, I think.
Was it 90s?
Yeah. Or was it late 80s? It might have been like 89, somewhere in there.
Okay.
That transition period,
Okay.
yeah. Like, they went really fast. Like, once the technology started going, it was like, boom, 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 boom. Like,
dude, now they got like virtual reality stuff now.
crazy.
It's
Oculus
just,
Rift sounds like
Oculus sounds
okay.
awesome.
Here's the thing, like I'm
We're
avoiding
geeking.
it on purpose because I have a feeling if I get into it,
You're
I'm
gonna like it.
Yeah, I'm gonna like.
I know you are.
I should go fishing. Fuck that. I'm gonna put these goggles on.
Dude, Basscat I went to the Bassmaster Classic this year. I took and I flew down there, and they had virtual reality. Basscat did. You could like pretend that you're driving your brand new Basscat. Just put these on.
I'm gonna bounce an idea off of you. And
Okay.
going back to what we said earlier, if I've already thought about it, it's already out there. At least it's in development.
Okay,
It'll
yeah.
probably be announced at ICAST this year because I have the idea. This is just how it works. But going off of like the MLF format, which I want to talk to you about in a little bit.
Okay.
I feel like the future of it, like you could have. Like, all right, with Score Tracker and the app, like you're already watching it in real time.
Yep.
Where or when is the marriage going to come in with virtual reality where you can put on the goggles and they have cameras? Either the anglers are wearing cameras or there's just cameras on the boat that are connected to a network where you as the consumer on your phone with your goggles can see what the angler is seeing, and you can toggle between different anglers in real time. Like
I think it's right around the corner.
It's got to be close, right?
Oh yeah, I mean,
it's got to be close.
I messaged Ronnie Moore and I said, like, if you guys would like do Bass Live, where like I can go and watch my favorite angler, like, dude, it would be game over.
When you could pick who you want.
Say I want to watch, Ish Monroe or whoever, like,
and they could even have like a button or an alert or something, because let's say they're hitting a dead zone where they're just not getting. Maybe they're searching. It's not a high percentage hookup.
And there's a lot of lakes like that, like Toledo Bend, where you just don't get reception.
Times in the day.
Yeah.
Where not much is going on. Sure, you could still log on, but let's say you're watching your favorite show and then there's a ticker on the side or whatever, and if somebody's really lighting them up, like maybe a green dot pops up by their head or a little icon or something, you'd be like, I want to go watch this guy catch fish.
Or maybe like Blitz 2000, where like you got like a fire thing where they're like on fire. He's on fire.
The shoes?
He caught 5 bass in 10 minutes. Like,
oh
you better switch
my!
Yeah, dude. Yeah, you played it too. I know.
NBA Jam, bro.
Yes. Yes.
Is it the shoes? Razzle dazzle.
It's right around the corner. I'm telling you.
He's heating up. Yeah. So that would be like. Yeah, it's
gotta
be right.
Next year they're probably
like
gonna
with
do it, I bet.
The towers that are going up now with the 5G and all that stuff, they're gonna it's gotta be.
I mean, they got Bass Live, and now they got what's called the Live Mix. If you watch it at all, have you watched it all or not really?
A little bit.
Okay,
you got a ton.
Yeah, you got the Bass Live where it's like an actual like kind of show, and then you can go to the mix where like they kind of just they pick who you get to watch. Though.
Right.
And I'm like,
well, and MLF still does. MLF does that too.
Oh, okay.
Like I have the app. And I'll get like an alert, like the last 5 minutes of the shotgun round or whatever, and that works for me because I'm not really paying attention, but all of a sudden I'm like, well, I got 15 minutes, I got to do nothing. I'll open the app and I'll watch the last 15 minutes, and so they're doing it like real sportscaster, like blah 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 blah, and all of a sudden like, oh, so and so's on fish, and then they'll go to that camera and they'll watch him catching fish. Mm-hmm. But if you as the consumer got to choose where the camera went, like which angler
they would
watching.
then be able to tell like, okay, who's our most popular angler and like stuff like that, and then that angler could even go back to his sponsors and say, well, dude, like I had like a million people or like however many watching me all day long.
I'm the most watched angler in the league.
Exactly.
Even if they're not winning,
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Not to the advertisers. It don't matter.
Yep. It got to the consumers.
Clicks and views is all they give a shit about.
Yeah, that's all it really matters.
How much is their logo? How much is their exposure to their brand is it getting? That's all they give a shit about. They don't care if you win or not.
Yeah, that's really what's important.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that would happen for sure. And somebody like a charismatic individual like Ike and Ellie, he's winning or not, people are watching him.
Oh, all the time.
And he's a character.
Yeah. Never give up, man. Like
he's a character, dude. I remember when he came on the scene, there were people in B.A.S.S. that wanted to like ban him from the organization because he was too extreme. Yeah. That's not what we wanted. The fist pumping, that's not what we want to see in the sport. And it's just the old school
I think fishing needs more people like that, actually. They need more personality. I
don't know that they need it per se, but it definitely doesn't hurt it. Like, I think it's really – I just think it's healthy to have different personalities.
Yeah.
Like, when for so long, and we've talked about this on the podcast before too, but for so long, all of the outdoors industry, fishing, hunting, all of it was this clean cut, going to church on Sunday, proper, super polite individual, super squeaky clean. That's just what it was. If you wanted to show, that's what you had to. That's what you had to do. If you wanted to be a professional, is that a mosquito?
Yeah, that's a mosquito. Yeah, I don't know how it got in here.
That's kind of what you had to. You had to be. And we're moving away from that.
Oh, we're totally moving away from that. But I'm okay with it. I like it.
I'm okay with it too, and I don't think it's going out on a limb to say that Ike and Ellie had a role to play in that, and really shaking up the industry. Like. They couldn't ignore him because he won.
No, they couldn't.
He kept winning. Like,
what are you going to do? Ban the guy that's winning everything? That looks horrible on you.
Yeah.
So you can't
do
that.
Oh, wait, no, he's winning. We can't have him.
Yeah.
You know, maybe if he was coming in 48th place, everything, you could be like, we just won't, we're not going to invite him to the invitationals and this, that, whatever. We could try to blackball him or force him out. But when the dude straight up wins consistently, what are you gonna do? You have to pay attention to this guy. He's good,
I think he has a really charismatic personality though as well. Like I think there's a lot of people that can relate to him.
Yeah, and I've heard he has his Ike Talk or whatever the hell it's called, his podcast.
Ike Live,
Ike Live. I listened to some of that, and he's pretty entertaining. But I've heard some interviews with him too. He has ups and downs and struggles just like everybody does. He's got his demons. He's got his real life drama and stuff I think that's important for people to grasp.
Yeah.
Like any industry, it doesn't even have to be fishing, whether you're a movie star or whatever the hell you are. Like people they put you in this different bracket like you're a different kind of person. No, dude, that's a human like you and I, like every other human on the planet.
Yeah.
Same desires, same needs, same temptations, same pressures, same everything.
Yeah.
So they're gonna, and we just hold people to an impossible standard if they're in the limelight, if they reach some sort of celebrity. We just hold them to this ridiculous standard, like they can never fuck up. Like, oh, he did this. Oh my God, he's so terrible. How many times did you do that last year?
Yeah,
all of them. Yeah. All of the times you did that last year.
And nobody criticized me.
Nobody gives a shit.
No.
Like I'm nobody. We got to hire. Well, he's a role model. How many times do you hear that? Well, he's got to be better. He's a role model. Dude, he's a person. If he's a role model, that's just a side note.
Yeah.
He's a role model and he's a person.
Yep.
And I don't think we need to. If you're a role model, I think it's almost irresponsible for you to give off the image that you're infallible, that you don't make mistakes. I think it's important to let people know that it's okay to make mistakes. Learn from them.
Yep.
Better yourself from them. It's not an excuse. It's not like I did this bad thing. It's okay because everybody does bad things. No. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is learn from your mistakes. It's okay that you made a mistake. Own up to mistakes. You might even have to pay for the mistake depending on the mistake. Like there are consequences to life choices. But learn from it. Become better.
Try to not do it
I think
again.
that's as important, if not more important, lesson to learn from those that we hold high, that fall from grace, if you will. Like look at Tiger Woods.
Yeah. His story's awesome.
Do people shit on him?
Yeah.
For so long when he went through all the shit that he went. I'm not even a golfer, and I was like, attaboy, Tiger.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Back on top of the world.
I don't like golf either, and I was like, the dude, like everybody wrote him off, and that's what it's all about, sports in general, not just fishing, but the storyline, the whole story. Like, yeah, he was great. He really messed up, and now he's got like an awesome comeback story.
Yeah,
like
it's awesome, dude. I mean, and he's a person just like we all are.
Yeah.
But it's I don't know. It's a weird deal when celebrity is involved. People just get weird. It's just what they do. So
Ike's not a celebrity.
Wow, big tangent again. Let's bring this back around.
Okay, let's do it.
So you were dissecting this lake.
Yeah,
that's where we went off the rails. I don't know how.
Was it Chickamauga? Is that what you might have?
No, you're in Virginia or something.
Oh, Potomac River. Yeah.
Yeah. So you were kind of going through
James River. Yeah, James.
Kind of breaking down how you dissect the river. So now you're going pre-fishing. Is there any specific? Do you have like a routine? Is there any like?
Normally I'll just start idling. You just launch the boat, dude, and just like, I don't know, maybe like you probably got an idea of kind of where you want to fish, like what you want to look for after all your research. you just start idling. Just start
You-
looking for what you're trying to find, whether it's weeds or
Okay. So
you
you're
know,
not
like,
necessarily looking for fish per se, because for sure, if they're in the weeds, you're not going to mark them anyway. They're not going to show up on your graph.
No,
so you're
it's
looking
pretty
for
hard
a
to do
structure. You're looking for
Yeah.
a certain type of
like
setup.
like if you were to do research on Mille Lacs, everybody knows now you look for big boulders. So you just idle around, look for big boulders because there's rocks everywhere.
Yeah.
When you're out at
There's rocks where you don't expect it to be rocks.
That-
giant mud flats.
that is true.
32 feet of water.
Yeah.
I know these things, and I don't even fish there.
Yeah,
Just
gravel.
pay
There's
attention.
no big boulders on the gravel flats either. Don't go out
None.
there.
Yeah,
either,
that's a
no.
waste of
It's
time.
just a bunch of walleyes.
Yeah,
Stay away from
well,
there.
they're everywhere anyway, so whatever.
So like I've done a little bit of research for the James, and
Okay.
there's this area called the Chickahominy. It's like a area where they've stocked the F1 strain, which I'm not sure if you're familiar with.
Is that Florida?
Florida 1 strain. Yep, it's their breeding program where they stock them to different bodies of water, and they've just stocked them in the Chickahominy, but it's also really clear compared to the rest of the area.
Okay.
And there's a lot more weeds and stuff, which weeds always hold big
Yeah,
fish.
right.
So that's where we're gonna stay, and that's where we're gonna take and look around and
Check it out.
yeah, just idle around and just kind of I feel like fishing is a lot like where you got to get in tune with like a certain body of water. It's like a girl when you're dating, like you want to get to know it, like. You just don't want to just jump right into it and take and just like start fishing.
It depends on the
Well, that's true. Okay. You make a good point.
Is this a long-term thing, or is this tonight?
Yep. So I prefer the long-term thing. So like when I go to a body of water, I want to idle around a little bit, man.
Yeah,
like I want to get to know her. I
alright.
want to feel her out a little bit. Like
I
get
bet you do.
get the vibe. Yeah, get the vibe. Like get the vibe going in the place. So. Before I cast around, and then I'll start fishing a little bit, and then try to catch some fish. So,
And you're not. Are you trying to catch? Do you limit like how many you actually catch? Do you set hooks, or are you just like, oop, that was a bite, and let it drop? Just know like.
I think it really depends on the guy. Like, I mean, I'll probably hook a bunch like towards the beginning of practice.
It probably depends on your time frame. Is it the day before? You probably don't want to catch that fish.
Day before, I almost always bend my hooks over, or I'll
Okay.
cut the hooks, or you can just fish with like a screw lock. If you're fishing a worm, you can put a screw lock on the
Okay.
top.
And you're just
Actually, not even a
checking
hook.
for bites.
Oh yeah, you're just checking for
that
bites.
was a hit.
Because
Okay,
what you
that
want to do
was
is,
a hit.
when you first get there, like 3, 4, or 5 days prior, you go around. Yeah, you want to catch some. You want to see how big they are. And like you're only looking for 5 a day, man. You're not looking for
Right,
20 or
right.
50 or
5
whatever.
good ones.
5 good ones. So you go around, you kind of get your pattern deal that you want to do. You catch your 5 biggest, and then you're like, okay, this is what I want to look for. Then you go look for those bites. Yep. And then you kind of make a milk run of like, okay, I'm gonna stop here.
And do you do like one thing I kind of do? And again, this is on a much smaller scale because I'm doing club tournaments. But I like to find a spot where it's like, I like to get my 5.
Yep.
And then call. Like, go somewhere I know holds a lot of 2-pounders.
Yep.
Let's fill the live well with those. Get
Yep.
that monkey off my back.
Yep.
And now let's go try to get some hogs.
Yeah, I think it depends on the body of water too. Like if it's a tough body of water, that's a really good idea. Like you want to make sure you catch your 5. Like don't mess around.
I don't like not bringing 5 back.
Oh, it's so
I
disappointing,
hate
dude.
it, dude. I hate it so much.
Yeah.
'Cause again, at the end of the day, I'm like, really?
Yeah.
I couldn't catch 5 12-inch fish.
Yeah. Or
Really?
Or imagine trying not to catch 3, man. Like I only came in with 2 on day 1 at Chickamauga. If I would have caught 1 more, I would have got a check.
God.
Then you could have called me Paycheck. And if it would have been a nice one, then I would have probably made the top 12. But that's the way it goes, man. Like it's fishing. Like, everybody has a story. Like so you just gotta go out there and you just gotta try your best every single time and lay it out. Yeah, just fish,
man.
Mm-hmm.
It's easier said than done.
It's
They
very-
say that they're like, just go fishing, dude. The pressure when it's a tournament, it's a different animal.
I
Even
bet
my club tournaments, like there's no real money on the line here. Like I just want that trophy, dude. I just want like.
Do you feel like
I
it's
want the
more
bragging
of
rights?
more of a mental game or a physical game?
There's a lot of probably both. I mean, you definitely, especially if it's hot. And I'm really bad about staying hydrated. Like when I'm
too, yeah.
fishing, the last thing I'm thinking about is like I need to.
You're
drink
bad at
water.
staying hydrated, really?
Beer is different.
okay.
That's easy.
Yeah.
But no, not real. But look how slow it takes me forever to drink one of these things. Of course, I'm talking, but when I did my first episode, it was just me rambling. I cracked the beer.
Yeah.
The thing sat there while I talked by myself for like 45 fucking minutes.
So you went back to it and it's still full, yeah.
Yeah, I don't like, apparently. Well, it's hard to drink when I'm the only one talking.
Yep.
Like, I can get you on a subject, and
Yep.
then I get to take a couple pulls while you're talking. But when it's just me.
I'm telling you, you need to do that interview yourself, though, where, like, you do one voice, and then you do another voice as someone else, kind of, but it's the same person. Like,
Can I have an accent?
yeah, dude,
I
I always
totally
when I
do
go
an
down
accent.
south, I always pick up an accent
Are
all
you
the
a
time.
Southern?
Yeah.
Do a Southern accent? Do you throw that shaky head?
Well,
throw that?
that's pretty good.
Shaky head?
I'm gonna go string my line down and be up behind me on the Walmart.
What you catch that on? Shaky head?
Yeah, I call on a big old shaky head.
That's my buddy in
Big
North
old
Carolina. It's like that's what everybody throws down there. It's like the only thing they throw. He's like, yeah, so-and-so got X amount of weight. And he's like, what do you win? It was a shaky head.
Yeah, dude, a shaky head's a good bait. Even
I need
up
to start
here.
throwing it. I never throw it. I don't.
Yeah.
It's not a secret. Everybody throws it. But I mean,
Do
it's
they
like
throw it
what, a
up here,
bigger
though?
Ned rig?
Yeah, that's
basically?
all it is. Yeah, I mean,
It's like a Ned rig with a full-size worm on it.
Mhm.
I mean, that's all it is.
you'd be surprised when you go across the country and you pick up like more techniques and baits like that, and you bring it back to Minnesota. They work here too, and they work.
They work, and I think why that is the trends. You know, when fish get used to seeing a certain presentation because everybody's throwing it because it was hot,
Yep.
it starts to lose its efficacy. So then even if you bring back a technique, I remember there was a short window of time when pre-rigged worms. You ever throw those? That became
I don't
a hot
know
thing.
what's a pre-rig worm. Yeah, you're talking about the ones with the little hooks. They got.
Yes.
I call them a kink worm. That's
There's
what I call them.
Yeah,
Is that what
and
you're
they
talking
just
about?
like
Yeah.
corkscrew in the water.
Yeah,
but they were on fire for a summer because
Yeah.
nobody was throwing them. They
They
haven't
smell
thrown them
really
since
good. I like their
1983.
smell. Yeah.
Throw
They're good.
something that fish haven't seen.
Yep.
You
I
know?
think it's completely true. Yep.
Just something different.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of things. I think a lot of things that trigger inside a fish's small little pea-sized brain is when something's different. They notice it.
Yeah, they get
Like, it's
very
injured.
conditioned. They get
It's
very, very
like
conditioned. Yeah.
that's something different. It's just like it sticks out to us, just like just anything. You know, if you're driving down the freeway and it's been nothing but black cars and one white one comes out,
Yeah.
you're gonna be like,
Yeah.
there's a white car right there.
Well, yeah, it's
Weird.
like if you drive by and you see a burger place, and all of a sudden you see a Chinese place.
It's
You're
just
like,
gonna,
oh,
yeah,
I'm gonna
it's
stop
gonna
by that
stick
Chinese.
out.
Yeah,
It's
uh-huh.
like it's something different.
Yep.
So is it natural? Probably not, but it's different.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's
So if you go and you fish these opens this next year, man, I'm telling you,
I'm loading up on pre-rig worms, bro.
Dude, I dare you to do that when your boater's gonna be like, "What the heck is this guy doing? He's throwing it."
First, what I have to do is pour my own.
Ooh, yeah.
Then when I win, I can sell them all
How do
because
you
that's
even
going to be
do
the
that?
hot bite, bro.
I've never even heard of anybody trying to make those things. You got to put the line and the little hooks in the mold, and then
probably.
That's
I don't know how the fuck I make them, but
that's dope, dude.
that's the way to do it is to, you have to have the product that you're influencing people to buy. That has to be ready to go in the wings. Then you hopefully win a tournament, and then you sell it. Do I have an idea for something that can't give it to you? Because first of all, it hasn't worked yet, but it will in the right conditions.
Okay. Will you show it to me before the end of the night?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll share my idea with you. Maybe you can make it work, and then
Okay,
we
off
get rich
off
together.
off
air.
off
Some of my
air.
close friends know about it.
Okay.
And I even have a catchy name for it and everything. Just has to work.
Deal.
And honestly, I haven't really thrown it. I haven't really tried it.
Yeah.
Because there's a very specific set of conditions that need to happen for it to really. I mean, I think it would work in a multiple of situations, but the reason I even thought of it was it was a very specific set of parameters. Like, what I need is a bait that can do this in this situation.
Okay.
And there just isn't anything out there like that.
Okay.
So you can definitely modify something to it, which is what I'm kind of
You're saying a lot of things on air here.
getting to.
like,
I know, but I'm leaving it. It's pretty vague.
Okay.
It's pretty vague.
Yeah,
that could be anything.
There's a lot of baits out there. Yeah.
So we're just going to leave that
okay
as it is. It's not really a new bait. It's a new
mod.
Yeah, it's
new
like
mod.
how you use it. Like you're going to use you absolutely are using baits that are already on the market. It's not. It's I'm not pouring a new soft plastic. I'm not making a new crankbait. I'm not designing a new lure.
Is it Carolina rigging a spook? It's not Carolina rigging a spook, is it?
It's not Carolina rigging a spook, but that's an interesting.
Yeah, that's a secret technique. I don't know if you've ever done that before.
I haven't. Never even thought about it.
It works
but
really
I bet
well
it
on
works really
Moax.
good.
Yeah.
How do you know? Do you still walk? You like walking the dog under the water?
Oh, definitely, yes. Yes.
Interesting. Yeah, I bet that would be killer.
Yeah, we'll have everybody doing it up on Mille Lacs now. I'm just gonna have everyone sitting off to the side. Anybody comes up to me like, "Yeah, what are you
Something
throwing,
different.
bro? You catching them?"
But I know, like, one of the things I try to do for myself, again, we fish our strengths, we fish what we know, but when you hit those days that nothing's working, like we talked about earlier, it's really hard to try new things. But what I always tell myself is, like, what do you have to lose? You can't catch any less.
That's true.
You've already gone through all the tools in your box, and obviously that's not working. Otherwise, you wouldn't have gone through every tool in your box. You have every rod in your rod locker is on top of the deck now.
Yep.
That's the that's the hallmark of a bad day when a guy comes back to the dock and all his rods are like, ooh, struggled, huh?
Yep. Yeah.
Through everything.
Yeah. No, that's always
start doing stupid shit.
Yeah.
Like, throw a daredevil for a large, whatever. I mean, you can't catch any less.
Yeah, that's true.
It just might work.
You're already having a tough day. Like,
I heard one guy was he was fishing docks, but he was flipping a spoon.
No way.
Yeah. He was just letting like a daredevil kind of. He would skip it underneath the dock and let it flutter down. He was crushing them. Why?
Because they'd never seen it.
When's the last time you ever heard anybody skip a spoon under a dock?
Never.
That would be never.
No.
It's probably why it worked.
Yeah.
Well, why not? When you've gone through everything else, take that. If you're listening to this podcast right now, just file that in the back of your head. Sounds stupid, right? Mm-hmm. Probably is stupid. Mm-hmm. Probably won't work the majority of the time. But if you're out on a tough day and you've tried everything that you know to do, remember this saying, skip a spoon under the dock. I'm not telling you it's going to work. Just might, though. What have you got to lose? You're not going to catch any less.
No, not at all.
Try it on a half a dozen docks. If it doesn't work, try the next stupid thing.
Yeah.
Throw a 12-inch swim bait.
Those are the most satisfying days, I think, when I'm out on the water. When you're having such a tough day and you just find something super oddball that works, and you're like, you know what? That's pretty darn cool that I figured that out.
You're the only person out there throwing
that's
that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Like,
and then you get back to the dock, and you're like, he struggled, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, I did all right.
Yeah, I caught a couple.
All right.
Yeah, I caught
all right.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No, so.
For sure. What do you got coming up? How many tournaments do you fish a year?
So I got the 8 on the Opens, which you could fish 4. I guess you could fish 1 if you wanted to. Some guys are only fishing the Lacrosse Open. But I got those, and then I've got like 7 club tournaments. So I'm not really fishing a whole lot.
How fast do they fill up, those Opens?
Pretty fast, I would say. Like, if you want to get into like a whole series, you'd probably want to register like on the first day or the first week. Like, I'm pretty diligent about it because I'm serious about it. I don't want to miss one. Or like, if you want to win like Angler of the Year or something like that,
yeah,
if you miss one, like you're done.
You're out of it.
Yeah. So like, I'm serious about it. Like, if you're just casually doing it, do it. Register whenever you want because it fluctuates a lot. Boaters are dropping out, boaters are jumping in, co-anglers are dropping. So it kind of fluctuates. So you can get in even like, you could probably get in one this year if you wanted to actually. So I think the last one's in September or October maybe on Oneida, which sets up a lot like a Minnesota body of water. So yeah. Mm-hmm.
October's tough, man, duck hunting.
Maybe it's September. If it's September, is that okay? I don't duck hunt, so I don't know when the season is.
Early goose hunting. Hope September 1st.
Oh,
bro.
whitetail season. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I do that too. See, I'm a everything. I'm an all out. I look around. I got ducks on the wall. I got antlers.
I see a bison over there. I see like.
No, you don't.
Jeez, man.
I would love to.
A moose.
I would love
look
to
at that.
shoot
Look
a
at that
bison.
moose over there. Like.
Oh, my daughter would dork out. That's the one thing she wants to go hunting for is a moose. It's like her favorite animal.
That is so awesome.
And I raised her right. That's her favorite animal. She wants to kill one.
Does that mean you raised them right?
Absolutely. Because it's like she's not Disney-ified. She's like, oh, don't hurt the moose. I love the moose.
There was never.
No,
a
you
Disney
can
bubble.
love it. You can respect it, and then still harvest it. Like,
that is
still,
true.
It's
true.
like I think that's a way healthier mentality to have than like For an example, let's just use horses. We don't eat horses in this country as a general rule. They're like a pet. They're a thing we do. A lot of countries do eat horses.
Yep.
The fact that there has been lots of talk about a horse season actually in a lot of the Southwest states because the wild horses, which are invasive, they don't belong. They do
in the United States.
In the United States, they do a ton of damage. They're not from the United States. They came in from
Mongolia,
Arabia.
I think.
Yeah, I mean, they're not.
Middle East, yeah.
They're not natural North American animals. So some people are like, we should probably eliminate these things. This isn't the natural state of this country. But, man, you bring up the thought of hunting a horse and people lose their minds.
Yeah.
And then you say, well, what are you going to do with him? Well, you're going to eat him. Oh, I would eat a horse. Why not? It's muscle, like same muscle on a cow. What is it? There's no difference. The only difference is you're not culturally used to eating them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and the poster child of that is the people in like India that worship cows. Like they think we're barbarians for eating cows, something that they worship. It's just
it's a cultural thing.
Yeah, it's what you're used to.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, yeah, that's weird. Dogs in China, like people freak the fuck out. Dogs are our family members here. And same here. I have 2 dogs here. They are our family members.
Yeah.
People freak the fuck out if you say we're going to eat a dog. Well, they're not family members somewhere else. They're just a resource.
Yeah.
It's not right or wrong or indifferent. It just is. It's just something different.
It's just different people's
Trust me,
mindsets.
if I was starving, dog's going down.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you right now, my dog, I love my dog.
Uh-huh.
But if it was between me and the dog,
it's going to be you.
it's me every time.
Yeah, every time.
I'm having legit hot dogs tonight.
Now I'm gonna drop a bombshell on you, man.
Uh-oh.
I've never been hunting in my entire life.
Have you grown up in Minnesota?
I've grown up, born and raised, 32 years, almost 33.
Now, I've met a handful of you freaks.
Yeah, I know. Is that
all
crazy?
you do is fish.
I know. Is that nuts?
But to be fair, like I know a couple like hardcore waterfallers that have never fished.
Yeah, but you also want to know something crazy,
Weird.
Dude? The best fishing season is when everybody goes out and hunts, because I'm out there on my lake by myself.
Yeah.
Like it's all me.
Pitching jigs right in the middle of my decoys.
Yep.
It's rude.
I know, and you guys are shooting buckshot over my head. Like
it's tough. It really is for like an all outdoors kind of guy. Like it's tough to decide what to do on any given day. You're like,
but
so
here,
much to do.
If you move down south like Florida,
then there's nothing to do in the fall.
You could do well. Can you not do anything in the fall?
Oh yeah,
Florida?
they still hunt down there.
You could hunt alligators or something
Hell yeah,
cool
I
like
would
that.
hunt alligator. I want to do that big time. Wild hogs.
Oh, I would like to go hunt hog. Like, dude, that's a lot of bacon out there.
With dogs.
With dogs?
With the catch dogs that catch the hog, and then you got to come up and stick it with a big old Bowie knife.
That sounds pretty awesome, but I wanna do the helicopter deal. I don't know
Texas
if you've seen
style, Ted Nugent. Texas style.
Nuts, dude. That's crazy. Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
At night vision goggles,
that's,
AR-15,
dude, that
shooting
is
hogs
cool.
out of a plane.
Are they really doing that?
Yeah, they're doing that.
Dude, when are we booking our flight? I want to wear night vision goggles, dude. Dude, we're like Navy SEALs, dude. We're up in the helicopter.
It's like an Apocalypse Now style, dude.
That's so dope, dude.
I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
That's awesome.
Hell yeah, dude.
Oh my God.
That's Merca. That's a night of America right there, Jack.
We're gonna wear our wife beaters and everything.
And if it's not spaghetti stained, we will get you some spaghetti sauce. We'll get that thing pre-stained before we go out.
Yep.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Or cut off jeans.
I don't know if you chew or not, but you're gonna have to chew this night. And actually, I'm gonna have to pass on that, dude.
Can I fake on that? I don't chew.
Me either, dude. I don't chew. Quick story. I don't chew, so I'll like chew once every 20 years or something when I'm just, I don't know, stupid. So we're out in North Dakota this last fall, and it's a day super slow. We're not seeing shit. Everybody, we're
goose hunting. Is that what you're doing?
Duck and geese, just random waterfowl. We're hunting water, so pretty much anything is fair game. And it was just really slow. We're just being stupid. All my buddies chew, and they're breaking it out. And Joel, he's always like, "You want a dip?" And I'm like, "Nope." Because I know what it, dude. I fly higher than a giraffe's ass when I chew. So I'm like, "Yep." I'm like Joel. He's like, "What? Give me your 10." He's like, "Are you serious?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm bored." He's like, "Hell yeah!" He throws it at me and pack that thing down. And here's the thing: like, I should just take a little tiny dip. No. Just like 2-finger that fucker. Like, just fill my face with it, dude. I get just like legit stoned. Like I'm like flying, like start getting the spin. I had to take it out.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like,
it's exactly what happens to me.
Dude, I'm going down. Like, this is not fun. Like, I took it out, had the spins, slightly nauseous. Like, I'm like, this doesn't happen to you guys? They're like, no, we don't even feel anything anymore. I'm like, why do you even do it? Like, that's a legit addiction if you're chewing and you're not getting any enjoyment out of it. Like, you're literally just making the urge go away. Yeah. That would suck. Yeah. But I would never do it because this is not fun for me. Like, this is terrible. Like, I feel terrible.
How expensive is chew in Minnesota though too?
Oh,
Dude,
tobacco in general, bro.
It's just
like
it's crazy up here. Like you go down south, it's like dirt cheap. Like it's really really cheap, like $2 a tin or something like that.
Jesus, it's
like
such
$10.
an expensive. That's the thing. I'm so glad I never got into smoking. I was on my way. Like I was in middle school, I was shoplifting smokes, and then we were fake smoking them out back, like cigar smoking them, like not really inhaling
not the white
them.
candy ones, right?
No, legit cigarettes, like burning smoke, the whole thing, and would like fake smoke them. And I actually got pretty good where I was able to like blow smoke out my nose without inhaling.
Dude,
and I was trying to
dope.
show
That's
off
cool.
one day,
Yeah.
and I accidentally inhaled. Oh
Mistake.
my God, it just turned green, coughed my face off, and I'm like, there's no amount of peer pressure. I quit cold turkey right then and there. I'm like, nope. Not doing it. I was like, this is stupid. How does anybody ever take a second drag? Like, if that's your first experience with a cigarette, why would you ever go back?
I agree.
It was the worst experience. Oh, it was terrible.
Smoking's on its way out, though.
Dude, it's not my thing. It's just not my thing.
I do want to get a pipe, though.
I have pipes.
Wow. Like,
not that pipe.
Okay.
Tobacco pipe.
Yeah, like the old school, like the grandpa pipe,
dude,
the Sherlock Holmes pipe.
Yep.
Yes.
Sherlock Holmes pipe.
Yes.
And even with that, I only do it certain times. Like I'll go buy a bag of tobacco, when I'm in the mood for it.
Pack it.
And then I'll smoke that one pipe, and then like I'll be good for months.
Or I don't mind a cigar.
If not a year. I mean, it's so much smoother. Have you ever smoked a tobacco pipe?
A little bit, yeah.
It's so much smoother than even a cigar. Like, and it smells like awesome. Nobody bitches about it. If you're smoking a pipe, nobody's complaining. Like,
you're actually like one of the cooler people.
Smells so good. I'm like, right?
Yes.
So awesome. But even that, I don't do that much. It's like, and so then I pay for however much for a thing of tobacco, and then it always dries out, and it's worthless. The next time I get the urge, I got to run to the tobacco store and then get another bag of it. But I do enjoy it from time to time, but it's like maybe twice a year. Also, in fact, I don't even think I smoked once this winter. But the green pipe smoking, I don't do that either. That's not for me.
Yeah,
but I think it should be legal. I mean, it's stupid that it's not.
No, I completely. That's gonna be on its way in.
I'm consuming a drug. I'm consuming a mind-altering drug right now. It's beer. Everybody's used to it. It doesn't matter. Talk about a societal change. If you take a picture of like your stereotypical 4th of July outing, kids are in the background playing, dad's grilling burgers, and he's got a beer in his hand, nobody freaks out.
No.
You swap that beer out
with
and put a joint in his hand, people would fucking lose their mind about how irresponsible that guy is.
10 years ago, they would. 10 years ago, they would.
Maybe.
Nowadays, all these millennials,
but my point, it's like it's not any different. In fact, it's probably better. If I have one too many of these grain belt premiums, I might want to fight you later. If I have one too many joints, I'm going to want to nap later.
It's not going to make you violent.
It's not the same thing.
If anything, weed should be legal, and alcohol should not be legal.
For sure. That kills your body, destroys families.
DWIs,
alcohol is terrible.
Yeah.
So as weed, not to go on a rant, but as like the government, if the government was really in it for our best interest, they would ban alcohol. And I'm not pro banning alcohol. I'm not prohibition anything. But if you're against the legalization of cannabis, if you're not also against prohibition of alcohol, your argument is worthless to me. You have no leg to stand on. If you drink beer and you're against marijuana, you're a hypocrite. Bottom line. But okay, that's that. I'm going to open another.
Cannabis has so many benefits too.
Well, that's the thing. That's another stupid thing. It's like cannabis is a Schedule 1 drug. Schedule 1. That means it has no medicinal value. How can that even be listed as a Schedule 1 drug? It obviously has medicinal value. Even if it's minute, even if it takes pain away, that's medicinal value. What is aspirin? What is Advil? It takes the pain away. So you can't tell me that it doesn't have it can't
stop seizures in people.
It cannot. When we're finding it has all sorts of other benefits.
Tons. Glaucoma.
How can it still be Schedule 1? It has medicinal values. Opiates, heroin, and cocaine are Schedule 2. Stop it. These things legit kill people. You cannot overdose on marijuana. You cannot. It's like, and again, I don't do it. It's just not for me. But you can't ignore these facts of it. Like, it's just stupid. We need to move beyond it. And they've only been illegal since the 70s anyways.
Yeah.
Up until that point, like all mushrooms, all psychedelics were legal. So, again, it's just been in our psyche for the last 30 years, 40 years that drugs are bad. Okay. Like, dude, don't tell me what to do with my body.
Give it another 5-10 years.
Oh, it's changing for sure. Yeah. No, it's changing for sure.
Yeah. What they'll do is they'll legalize and they'll probably just tax it is probably what's going to happen and try to take and pay off some of the debt or build a wall.
They won't do that. They'll just spend more. I mean, it's like what I do. You give me more money, I'm going to spend more.
Yeah, that's
whatever.
True. Yeah, they're just going to spend more. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, it needs to be legal. Let's just be done with it and move on to the next thing.
I agree. There's bigger fish to fry than worrying about
There's bigger
marijuana.
bass to fry.
Yeah.
Triggered.
No, don't kill that bass. Oh.
Triggered.
Yeah.
So triggered.
Yeah.
So do you fish for anything else?
That's actually a really funny story. Like,
strictly bass guy.
I'm pretty strictly bass. Like, I'm really kind of a snob when it comes to, I guess, my fishing and my outdoors. Like, I love the outdoors. I'll go hiking and go kayaking and stuff like that. But I'm pretty much a bass guy. Like, I don't really.
Yeah, for the most part, I am. Like, walleye fishing bores me to tears.
Dude, all they do is troll. Like,
Bro.
Come on. Like, let's get our rod holders out. Let's get our planer boards out. Let's go idle around. Like, that's
hey,
not.
Doug Glimmerbean uses planer boards for crappies.
No, he does not. What?
Yeah, bro.
Dude, it's like a secret
I feel like we
technique.
need an intervention.
You go down south and they'll have these crappie guys and they'll have like 30 rod holders.
For
like
real, dude. The back of their boat is like 12 rods sticking out. Like,
all rod holders.
And here we're trying to fight for 2 rods in Minnesota. And that dude's got 12 rods sticking out the back of his boat.
It's a whole nother world down south. It's just crazy.
Crappies are a big deal down there.
They get
not
really
crappies,
big.
but crappies.
Yeah, speckles they call them too. Yeah,
speckled perch.
Yeah, speckled perch. Yeah,
Crappies.
Yeah, they taste good, man.
They taste really good.
I like them.
I slaughtered them the other day on Big Marine.
Really?
Yeah, it's a pan fisherman in the metro area. But you don't even have to go to Big Marine, dude. Go anywhere. The panfish are up shallow right now. The bluegills are getting ready to spawn.
Okay.
Some of them have started to start making. Today I just noticed them. They're making the beds.
Yep.
So they're not spawning yet, but they're getting ready to. Crappies are pretty much done, but they're still hanging around. Yeah, if you want to go catch a nice limit of panfish to eat, now's the time, dude. Yeah. They'll crush stuff.
They'll eat anything.
You can just like, no, that one's too small. Oh, okay, I'll fish for that one. Bam.
Yep. They'll eat anything. Little jig, bobber, worm, whatever.
And I generally don't like to use the bobber. I like to just throw a small, like a 64th ounce jig, soft plastic, no bait, no
tungsten,
nothing. No, it doesn't have to be tungsten. It can be. Okay. I mean, of course, I'm throwing tungsten. I'm throwing a Kenders.
Yeah. I was going to ask you what you're throwing. You throwing the Kenders? Okay.
Throwing a Kenders.
Cheap
so Kenders,
plug,
Kenders sponsors, doesn't sponsor me, but they sponsor Minnesota Made.
Okay.
Outdoors, the ice fishing tournament.
Yep.
And they honored me with the Sportsman of the Year award this year.
Ooh,
so with that, I got a really generous prize package from Kenders. I am set with Kenders jigs for a while.
Oh my gosh,
really
dude.
nice, really nice.
I
do really like their jigs though. They are fucking awesome.
Where are they out of? Who owns them?
They're local here in Minnesota.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty sure anyways. I think I'm right about that.
Okay. Yeah, I think they are. I know Matt. What the heck is Matt's last name?
I don't know what you're talking about.
He's a bass guy. He's
Plasma.
Pasma. Yeah, Matt Pasma.
Oh, I was thinking of a different Matt.
He's sponsored. He's sponsored by Kenders. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, they have their stuff is awesome.
Just like Blackfish, man. You're wearing some
Blackfish
Blackfish gear too. Like they're hitting the scene pretty good too.
Yeah, dude, they hit the ground running.
Like
hardcore. They're like, I never heard of them. And next thing you know, there's racks of that stuff. But I think, do they sponsor?
They sponsor the Champions Tour. I know that.
Did they sponsor? They sponsored something. Oh no, they were a sponsor of the TOC last year.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
Okay, Pechacek. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Island Chain this year too, or no?
I don't know. I don't know if they are or not. But yeah, I got to figure that out that leg.
Do you want to talk more about like how I dissect a lake?
Yeah, absolutely.
Really?
I mean, keep talking about weed if you want, but no, I'm just kidding.
In the lake.
Yeah, those weeds.
Not in the
those
field.
Weeds, those weeds.
Yeah, those weeds, yeah.
Yeah, okay, how do you dissect the lake?
Yeah, I mean, like, usually I pick weeds. Like, that's kind of like where the big fish, the big bass hang out. I wouldn't know about walleyes, but
Weed walleyes are a thing for sure. I do
are
know
they
that.
really?
Yeah. I do know that for a fact.
If there's no rock, is that where they go? Really?
I can't get that specific, but I do know I've heard from a lot of people that weed walleyes are a thing, and I saw it with my own eyes. So when the underwater cameras first came on the scene, like the Aquaviews were first, I rented one. You can actually rent one, like from Kings
Aqua?
right up there, right in
From
Garrison.
There. Okay, yeah.
And it was kind of a slow day. We weren't really catching anything. And this was back when I was like a generalist. Like I wasn't targeting any fish species. We just went out and tried to catch stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And we weren't. So we're like, well, let's just play around with this camera. So we were just drifting. It was like a perfect like 5 to 10 mile an hour wind.
Yeah.
Which and we just put the camera down. We just drifted, and we went through this huge stand of cabbage in like 8 to 12 feet of water. Yeah. It was shit stacked with walleyes, dude. Right in the weeds. Like shit stacked. In the middle of summer when you would think the walleyes would be out on the mud flats in 32 feet of water. No, dude, they were in 8 to 12 right in the fucking weeds.
I
tried to catch them, but I couldn't.
I'm a bass guy. I don't target walleyes, but a lot of those walleye guys, they go out on those mud flats. And I've gone out there looking for those big boulders. And you say there's some out there, but I've never found any.
I don't think there is. Don't even look.
Yeah, okay. We'll go out there a couple times. But I've caught some walleyes out there, and man, they're kind of skinny out on the mud flats. They don't seem that healthy. But then the ones I catch on like the reefs, they're fat. Like they're eating them craws just like them smallies are.
They're eating whatever they can.
Yeah.
I think the canary in the coal mine for Mille Lacs is somewhere in the forage chain.
Okay.
And I've heard other people say the same thing. Like this isn't, no kind of new revelation or anything, but the population of walleyes in Mille Lacs, I think we can all agree, is pretty healthy. There's
healthy.
A lot of them.
Very, very
But I
healthy,
think the problem is there's not a lot of food.
Okay.
It's been now this is my theory, but I feel like people have. I want someone to dig into this if you're a scientist and you're studying that lake. I noticed the problems happening on Mille Lacs the same time. Like back in the day, you used to go out there, you just catch a bunch of jumbo perch.
Yeah.
And you just catch a bunch of eel pout, and there was eel pout everywhere. Like everywhere. Back in the, I don't know why we did this, but you catch an eel pout, you just threw it on the ice.
Yep.
I don't know why we did that. We thought them as a trash fish.
Yep.
I don't know why. It's just what everybody did.
Yep.
Anyways, you'd go out there and you'd see eel pout everywhere.
Yep.
Suddenly, the eel pout and the perch kind of just disappeared, like at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Like they just stopped.
Yeah.
And that was that era where it was like the dark ages of Mille Lacs. People started calling it the Dead Sea. It was like pointless to go fishing out there. You never caught a fucking thing.
Yeah.
And then we've kind of climbed out of that, but we still, like, just this year, maybe last year a little bit, I started seeing some more jumbo perch come out. Not a lot, but some.
Yep.
I also been noticing people catching eel pout again.
Really?
So it might be coming back. So I feel like the missing puzzle piece is like the clues, I think, are like the perch and stop studying the walleyes and take a closer look at what happened, what crashed the population of eel pout and big perch. Because you can go out on Mille Lacs and there's like clouds of little tiny perch.
Yeah.
If you drop a camera down there, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, how come they're not getting bigger? How come they're not getting that jumbo status? Probably because they're getting eaten.
I think that's exactly why.
So they're getting.
Yep.
So what that tells me is, and it's not weird that walleyes are targeting perch. They've always done that. But are they hammering the perch more because there's some other forage that isn't available to them, whether it's a shiner or some other kind of bait fish, or is there something else? I feel I keep. Like, the nagging thing in the back of my mind is, like, there's some element that we're not.
Well, there used to be
Cisco's
in the
right
lake.
place. There still are tulipies in that.
Are there
lake.
still tulipies in there? Really?
Still
Okay.
catch them. I don't know how they're. I mean, I caught a couple this year. They're still in
For
there.
real? Through the ice?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're still in there. I
Healthy
don't know.
population or not really?
That I don't know. I don't know the status of that fishery or not. But enough where you can target them and catch them.
Okay.
They're not rare by any stretch of the imagination.
Okay.
And they've been constant, so I don't think that's the problem. again, I noticed, and this is just anecdotal, this is just me, but I noticed that the perch and the eel pout dropped off dramatically, like dramatically.
Yeah.
So why did they crash? I think if you can get to the core reason of why they crashed, you're going to start shedding light on the real problem.
Well, I think it's
affecting
the
rest
two
of the
examples
lake.
you just gave. Like every time you caught an eel pout through the ice, you'd throw it on top of the ice and just let it die. Like guys did it and then guys would go up there. They would also go for jumbo perch.
They've been doing that for decades.
Yeah,
and it didn't really affect the population.
Really?
So I think it's like because the perch and the eel pout kind of disappeared at the exact time. I think it's a forage thing. It's somewhere down
below
the food
that
chain. Yeah,
okay.
I think and it might be. Maybe it's the spiny water fleas that are up there that displaced.
Oh, the spiny water
flea. that invasive species that displaced another kind of zooplankton. Like maybe that's the cause.
This could be the zebra mussels. I don't know.
Could be the zebra mussels. But I think the zebra mussels came in way later. They came after this. The perch population and the eel pout population had already crashed way before the eel. Way before we.
What years are you talking here? Like early 2000s?
10, 15 years ago.
Okay, so you're talking early 2000s. Okay.
Yeah. So. Before zebra mussels became a really big thing.
Okay.
Because when they just found them in the lake, how many years ago? It was relatively recent.
Within the last 5-10 years, I would imagine.
Yeah. I mean, relatively recent. Yep. But, and even with zebra mussels, I don't know how big of a problem. I think they're a problem right away.
Yeah.
They get into a certain watershed. There's a ton of food for them.
Yeah.
So their population explodes because they don't have any predators. Yep. But then they kind of eat themselves out of house and home. And then there's a mass die-off. And then, you always have them, but I don't think you have them at that level anymore.
It affects the natural, clams that are there. That's really what the big deal is.
Yeah, it probably displaces native mussels and stuff like that. But, somebody else brought up a fact, and it might have been Doug Glimmerbean. It's like, if you look at the lakes that have zebra mussels in it, is it a good fishery or is it a shitty fishery? Because they keep telling us it's going to ruin everything. Pretty good fisheries, though.
I would say every fishery that has zebra mussels in has got, for bass at least. Yeah. I couldn't speak for really. I mean, walleyes maybe too.
Else.
But for bass, it always makes it. It's just like milfoil. A lake that has milfoil, does it make it better or worse?
Right. Yeah, it makes it better. Worse for boaters.
Yeah. Oh, and homeowners
but better for bass fishermen.
But way better for bass.
It's
fishermen.
It's cover for bass
bait,
fry
for the bait.
For bait,
for sunfish, crappies.
Yeah, it's cover. It's going to help everything out.
Yep.
But zebra mussels pretty much single-handedly cleaned up Lake Erie. That lake was a cesspool.
Yeah.
20 years ago.
Yeah, it's sewage and stuff.
It's super clear now.
Yeah. It's
you
gorgeous.
Can see 20 feet of water.
Yeah, you can see beds way
it's crazy.
deep. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's unbelievable.
It's like gobies.
Gobies.
I was like, why don't we bring some gobies over this way, too?
I don't know that gobies, help the lake.
Can you imagine gobies in Mille Lacs, dude?
Dude. Well, that might fix it. It'd be a whole new forage base.
Yeah, maybe it'll help the walleyes.
You don't think walleyes would eat gobies?
Oh, they would.
Dude, they would go to town
Don't
they
eat craws? Don't walleyes eat craws?
Okay,
because, dude, if you've ever stuck a camera, I stuck a camera down there last year. There's craw. Dude, there's millions of craws in that lake.
It might be the rusty crawfish, and those are the bad ones. Those are the invasive ones, and they have a harder shell. And fish.
Do they live this far north?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
They're up here, yeah. I think so. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure we have rusties in Minnesota. Pretty sure.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure about that.
That's great. I hope they're not,
But the gobies is an interesting thing. The gobies didn't really, as far as I understand it, they didn't really, other than displacing native bait fishes, they didn't really have a negative or a positive impact on the populations of game fish, but game fish adapted to them. Like if you weren't throwing a bait that looked like a goby, you weren't catching smallmouth.
No.
They keyed in on them. Like the smallmouth learned that they were a food source and like, I don't need to eat crayfish. I got gobies. They don't have claws.
No, they don't. They're so much softer. They're all squishy and stuff. And dude, they're fat. They're just cute little things to eat.
And I noticed that after they got in there, that the guys that were winning the tournaments were using plastics like tubes or they. And then eventually you started seeing people making goby-shaped plastics.
Dude,
yeah,
I got a couple Jewel little freaking goby little things. Yeah,
when they start keying in, match the hatch, and they start keying in on it. It's like, holy, how long have we been talking, bro? Oh, only 2 hours.
Only 2 hours. How long are your podcasts?
They're whatever. I've had some a little over an hour. The
6
one we
hours?
did with the Minnesota Maple, not quite that long. The ones with Minnesota May boys was 3 hours.
3 hours.
3 hours. Yeah.
Wow, that's a marathon. Holy.
It's not though. It goes by so fast.
Really?
Like we've been shooting this shit for 2 hours. To me, it seems like a half hour.
Dude, it's fishing. That's
right.
Like I could
talk
just
for forever.
You want to talk all night about fishing, dude? I could talk about all
You're
night.
making a 2-parter?
Yeah, dude. If you want to, make it a 2-parter, dude. Like all your fans are asking for bass stuff.
Right.
Like, let's give it to them, man.
Give it to 'em.
Yeah. Do you do videos too?
I don't.
That's good because I don't got a camera face. So.
Yeah, you got a face for radio. They say.
That's
People tell me that all the time.
Yeah, that's what they always say.
Yeah, you got a face for radio.
So you don't do videos, though?
No, I just and see, I have my portable. Even though we're at my house, I have my portable system. I'm pretty sure I'm the only podcast out there that like will go to somewhere.
Okay.
So I mean, I'm just trying to get as many people on as I can of different walks of life, and if there's somebody in Wisconsin, and they're not going to drive 4 or 5 hours to my house to do a podcast, but they're willing to do it. Yeah. I'm like, we can meet somewhere. Yeah. Let's pick a spot in the middle. We'll just do it at a bar. Yeah. Like this portable equipment, it's portable, but it gives a really good sound quality. Like okay. I'm really impressed with it. And I don't mind doing that. Like, if it gets you on, if you're willing to, I will drive 2 hours to get you on the podcast. Like, I'm dedicated to this. Like, I want
this to go.
If that's what it takes, then that's what I'm going to do.
Dude, and I love your motivation.
I take this with me everywhere I go. So we went down to the Keys this year.
Yeah.
And so we got a guide the first day we were there.
His name is Scott Martin, right?
It was not Scott Martin.
He's got a place down there, though.
We were in Isla Morada.
Okay.
The Keys.
I've never been there, but I hear it's beautiful.
It's unbelievable.
Catch some mahi-mahi?
No, we didn't catch any mahi. We didn't go out that far. So we had my brother's boat, which is kind of more of it's not really a flats boat, but it's not a deep water boat.
Oh, okay.
You can go out pretty far if the seas are nice.
More than a couple miles, it could get sketchy if the wind picks up or something. Okay.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to be dealing with 4-foot swells or anything. It's not that. But it can handle some waves pretty good. I mean, we actually learned this trip, like, okay, we can take this out on a little more aggressive waves than we've done in the past. Like it does a pretty good job, but you're not going to run 20 miles offshore. You're not going to do that. Okay. And that's where the mahi were. They were out deeper.
Okay.
That wasn't really our target anyways. We had a lot of targets. We never fished for them. We wanted tarpon. We wanted a Goliath grouper. We didn't really fish for either one of those.
Dude, a Goliath grouper. That would be so cool.
Dude, that's like bass fishing to the extreme right there.
Yeah, that's dude, all those ocean fish, like if I move down to Florida, like that's top of the list. Like I love bass fishing, and I don't know, for some reason I just don't. I mean, I enjoy catching other fish, but bass is like my thing. Like I grew up doing it.
Right.
But all those ocean fish, like that's all uncharted territory. Like we were talking shark, like that's on the list. Like
we're gonna get you a shark. But like we talked on the phone, I was like, I want to get down. What interests me a lot is all the invasives down in Florida.
Oh, they got them down there too?
Pisses a shit ton of people off. Yeah, like in the canals and that.
These are zebra mussels down there? Wow.
No, not zebra mussels. We're not catching
Eurasian
spiny
milfoil.
waterfills, and we're not catching flying carp. You know what we're catching is but they have like peacock bass down there.
Yeah.
Snakeheads, knife fish, like all these aquarium fish that people have just let go.
Oh, is that what they do?
Yeah, that's how they got in there.
They get too big for their aquarium, and then they just toss them in.
And they can't bring themselves to kill them because they're their pets, so they let them go, and they wreck an entire ecosystem. Or I shouldn't say wreck it, they change it. They change it forever. I mean, the genie's out of the bottle. You're not. They're always in there.
You know there's giant goldfish in Minnesota, right?
Yeah, there are.
Have you seen some of those photos?
I have.
They're surfacing all of a sudden now. Like,
was it Minnehaha?
Don't say any of these lakes. Oh my god!
What? But there was it was like a creek or a stream that had like full-on schools of them swimming around. That
orange ones, just swimming around like it's like a bunch of koi pond. Like,
no, I know there's one. Let's see if I'm gonna give this lake name away.
No, Dale, don't do it.
Why? Is it what's the problem with it?
I like my goldfish lakes.
Because you're throwing orange baits. That's why.
Yeah, I am. I'm throwing orange spoons. to try to match the hatch.
Match the hatch. The bass are keying in on the orange goldfish.
See, all these people throw their goldfish in there, and then I catch them, and I put them in my aquarium then.
No, I actually think this lake is called Clear Lake, even though it's the furthest thing from clear. It's like super green, nasty water in Minneapolis, like around Theoworth, somewhere down there.
Okay.
It's a small lake.
Okay.
And I don't know if the fishing's good in or not, but there's muskies in it. I know that.
They eat the goldfish?
And then I've heard that there's goldfish in it. I didn't see any. I fished it a couple times. I didn't see any. But you damn right I threw an orange bucktail.
Yeah, I was thinking the muskies would be like, ooh, maybe there's a goldfish
It's a
swimming
goldfish, baby.
Yep. No, it's the business end of my bucktail.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't believe you're trying to keep your goldfish lakes a secret. Who the fuck cares?
Dude, yeah, I don't like a lot of freshwater fish other than bass, but goldfish, man, they're my jam, dude.
I think the bow fishermen like shooting them.
Oh,
get a nice good koi.
Yeah,
5-pound koi on the.
There's some big ones, dude.
Bow.
I can't believe they can get that
big. They're just carp, dude. They're just carp.
Are they in the carp family? Actually?
They are carp.
Oh, they are carp. They're just mini carp.
Goldfish are like domesticated carp that, like in Japan, China, that part of the world, that they selectively bred them to be koi.
Okay, to be a smaller carp.
They're just carp.
Huh. Interesting. I didn't know that.
The selective breeding gave them the different colors. They're just carp. They did to carp, but we did the dogs.
Yeah.
We made different kinds, different colors, sizes, shapes.
We should have thought of that. Why didn't we think of that? Think of how much money we have like selling goldfish. If we would have thought about that idea.
I'm out. Doesn't
You're out.
Maybe we should breed some long-finned bass.
We could do that.
We could do that.
Yeah.
I guarantee you could. Probably take a few years, a few generations, but it's just selective breeding.
Dude, I wanna bring the F1s to Minnesota.
So what is the benefit of that? I was going to ask you that, and then we got sidetracked again. So what's the now they, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yep.
They don't live as long, but they have faster growth rates.
Correct.
Is that correct?
Correct. That is correct.
So what would be the benefit of that?
You're saying if we brought it to Minnesota?
Yeah. Would
there
they
probably
even
wouldn't
make
be
it?
that. No, it's probably too cold up here. But they do have them. They have them at Chickamauga, which is in Tennessee, and the water gets pretty cold there. Like obviously not as cold as here.
It doesn't freeze, bro. You can't walk on it.
No, but it gets down in the 50s and even like the upper 40s, and that's pretty cold. And they survive there, and then they also survive even up in Virginia, which is pretty far north too.
Yeah, they get cold. They get snow.
Yeah, and like all those F1s that they stock like years and years past, like they've all now crossbred. So they're not full Florida fish.
Strain, yeah.
They're like half, quarter, eighth, 16th.
Yeah,
like
that was like my follow-up question. Like, do they change? They're just gonna adapt to their surrounding.
Yeah. So they're all kind of crossbreeding and stuff like that. So you'll even catch fish that like are not full Florida strain. They're like halves actually, and there's probably very few full Florida strain in some of these upper lakes and stuff. So
now I'm gonna have another outlandish claim.
Okay, let's hear it. Bring it to me.
I caught probably the state record fish, a largemouth bass. It was a Florida strain because somebody put them. We were down at a.
Don't name the lake. Don't name the lake.
It's not a lake. It was a pond. It was like a farm pond.
Okay.
They had. It was somewhere in southern Minnesota. I don't even remember where it was. I was like 8 or 9, and
I think I've heard this story before.
They said that they had 2 10-pound breeders in there. That's what they told me. They're like, you can keep all the sunfish you want. Don't keep any bass because they did something like ripped out all the cattails or something. They were like mowed off. I don't know why they did it or whatever. Anyways, they're like, so we disrupted their spawning. And so just don't keep any bass. You can keep all the sunfish you want.
Yep.
And there's 2 10-pound breeders in there. I was like, all right, whatever. Had like a Zebco 33. Yeah, dude. I was using a Mr. Twister, orange head, brown body, orange tail. And I was like arm's length. And so there's this row of like cattails that were like mowed off kind of. And I was just like jigging on the back side of it. Now I was just slaying like sunfish and little tiny bass left and right. And then my cousin was down there. It was like a distant cousin. It wasn't even like my close cousins. Couldn't tell you his name right now if I had to. Get a gun to my head and be like, I don't know, shoot me, dude. I have no idea what his name is. And he got bored of doing that. He went back up the house. So I'm down there by myself, and I'm doing that, and all of a sudden I just get smashed. I set the hook, and it's just like I panicked. I pressed the button. Like it gave him slack, which is like the last thing you want to fucking do, right? This thing, swims
especially when you're in the reeds. Like you don't want to get many.
Swims out in the middle of the fucking pond. So I engaged the reel and by some miracle, he's still on. So I fight this thing. I get it up the shore. I don't know if it was 10 pounds. So I didn't have anything to measure it with or weigh with. But, again, I'm a kid. But I could fit both of my fists in his mouth.
That's a big bass.
Dude, that thing was a toad. Like, even if it wasn't 10 pounds technically, it was 8.
Uh-huh.
I mean, even if I conservatively trim off 2 pounds, at the time probably was enough to set a state record, but it wouldn't have qualified anyways because these people said they brought the bass up from Minnesota, so they were F1s or whatever.
Yeah, and like if the DNR can check that, too.
Yeah,
they could check the DNA.
Well, I
don't
even think they were doing DNA back then, but you look at a Florida straight bass, they look different.
Yeah, they're
their
different.
spines they're smaller.
Yep.
You know, like on top, they just you can look.
Their stripes are a little bit different. Yeah,
they're just different. You can tell,
mm-hmm.
and they weren't hiding it. They said like we have 2 10-pound breeders in there.
How could they
Must
get them
have
up here?
Drove them up in a fucking cooler or a bucket or some shit. I don't know what they did.
They just put them in their live well and drove 24
I guess.
hours.
I don't know.
Wow.
I didn't ask. I didn't care. I didn't ask. I was 8.
Could you find it again? Could you find that pond?
No.
If looking at Google
I've
Earth
actually
or something?
tried.
You've tried looking at Google Earth,
and I asked my mom, like, where was that family reunion? She's like, I don't remember. I'm like, I need to know where this was.
Dang it.
Well, it's probably winter killed 12 times since then. But,
yeah,
I mean, it was just a pond.
Okay.
But it had to have been deep enough that they were spawning. I mean, I was catching tiny ones. I was catching little 10-inch bass.
Yeah.
So they were obviously reproducing.
Yeah, there's different school classes.
Yeah, so it had to be deep enough that it wasn't winter killing every winter.
Yeah.
You know, it had to have winter killed by now a couple times. But yeah, so and it's funny because I generally forget that I've caught, well, again, I say 10-pound bass in air quotes because I can't confirm it. I didn't weigh it. I'm only going off of they said they had 2 10-pound breeders in there. They were giant fish. I mean, I caught one of the 2 giant fish they had in there.
That's crazy.
I happened to catch one of them. Yeah, and my cousin or distant cousin, whenever it already left, had nobody to tell. The house was like a quarter mile away from the pond.
You ain't gonna bring it up
I'm not
there.
gonna bring it up to the pond.
You didn't have a phone.
They specifically told me, not, dude, this is 20 years before phones, cell phones were even a dream.
Yeah.
This would have been what? This would have been like 1980 or 1981.
Yeah, they didn't have flip phones really. They had the brick ones maybe back then.
Not even then. Those came out like late 80s.
Late 80s.
Yeah, early 90s. Like not even remotely close to having. We're still tethered to a wall with our phones. Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
dude. Cable was just a thing. That was brand new.
They might have those 2 fish in there, but like the thing is like most of those bigger ones are females, so they must have had 2 females, and then like you're gonna have to have like something else to like spawn.
Yeah, again,
with
I didn't know the science of it back then, and maybe they didn't either.
Yeah,
maybe they just threw 2 giant ones in there, thinking they were male and female. I don't fucking know.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I just remember they said there's 2 10-pound breeders in there.
I don't think the F1s would probably survive in Minnesota.
I can't imagine.
Really hard,
especially since you just like brought them up and dumped them in. You didn't acclimate them, like they've never seen 32-degree water in their life. And
I mean, I guess you could maybe try doing that with you do that with goldfish when you go buy them at the store. You leave them in the bag, you put them in your aquarium
for a half hour,
yeah, and then you just cut the bag
them.
open, and you do it. Yeah, you could maybe do that with a bass.
Yeah, I mean, they're
genetically engineered for that warmer water.
Yeah, it's this thing. They're not going to be adapted to when winter rolls around. They're not going to be. They're not going to do it. I think if it was possible, they probably would have done it by now.
But let me hit you with this idea though. What if we did the M1 strain?
Well, was that a Missouri bass?
Minnesota 1 strain, bro. What I've even brought it up on the Minnesota Bass Heads page, dude. And I kicked a hornet's nest by
M1?
that.
We're gonna start. We're gonna breed one.
Yeah,
we're gonna
exactly.
start it.
Yeah,
okay.
Dude. I want you and me and everybody else.
All
It's
right.
like avid bass guys in Minnesota start the M1 strain. We're gonna have like a share lunker program like Texas has, like Florida has, where if you catch a fish over a certain size, we put it into our breeding program. We've got like a hatchery or something where we take in and breed them with other bigger males, and then we take and stock our lakes with M1 strains.
I think it's very doable. You just have to, like we talked about, it's like livestock, dogs or whatever. You just have to selectively breed. You have to have absolute control of which fish breed and which fish don't. This might have to be all hatchery, and then you would just have to have it. These hatchery fish just need to be exposed to everything Minnesota has to offer, the elements. Like this isn't going to be a climate-controlled machine shed hatchery.
Nope, this is out in the
going to
open.
be a
Yep.
hatchery that's in basically a pond or a pool.
Yep.
That is outside.
Yep.
That doesn't freeze. I mean, you can always monitor
Yep.
oxygen levels.
Put
and
an
you can pump
aerator in or
oxygen.
whatever.
Yeah,
Yep.
you can do whatever. But you'd almost need like a mechanical net system that like sweeps it so that you can get every single fish out of it when you need to.
Yep.
Milk every single fish.
Yep.
And you're only breeding the big females with the big males.
Yep. And then what they do in Texas, or
you will eventually get a larger fish.
Oh,
and
yeah.
You can monitor growth rates, and you can only breed those that have very fast growth rates. You absolutely could do it.
You're going to genetically engineer and change, kind of like you're going to be like only using the best genetics.
It's just selective breeding. It's just like you would with any livestock, just with dogs, with anything. I mean, if you can take a wolf and turn that fucker into a chihuahua, there's no doubt in my mind that you could selectively breed a 10-pound Minnesota bass. With regularity.
Let's do it.
How long is it going to take? How much money is it going to take?
It's probably going to take a lot of money. Well, how many people really care about it, though, too?
Well, how many people care about it? Fishing's $1 billion industry. You don't think Explore Minnesota, you don't think the Minnesota vacation industry would like to get word out that we have 10-pound bass swimming around Leech Lake?
That would be dope, dude. That would be so cool.
Look how the uptick that this state got when B.A.S.S. and MLF came here.
Huge.
All them big-name Southern boys had no idea we had a bass fishery like we do.
Yep.
And once they found out, people started looking at properties. They started buying cabins.
By Mille Lacs, Yep.
Yeah, they're like, holy shit, I had no idea.
Mm-hmm.
I need a place up here.
Plus, if we do the M1 strain, guess who might be calling? Michigan might be calling.
Mm-hmm.
All these other states, because that's what Florida did. They took and they went. I'm sure they went over to Texas and said, "Hey, let's see if we can sell them."
Well, and they put them in Lake Castaic in California.
Oh, yep, they did that too. California,
El Salto down in Mexico's got the Florida strain.
Yeah,
in Mexico,
Chickamauga in Tennessee.
And what happened there? They are destination fisheries. People travel to Mexico, stay at a resort just to catch giant.
Are those F1s down there? Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Those are, as far as I know, they're Florida strain. I'm almost positive.
Amistad and Falcon in Texas too.
I can't say for sure.
Okay.
But I'm almost positive the ones in Mexico are Florida strain. Okay. Might have been Texas, but I'm almost positive they're Florida strain.
Okay. I know there's a lot of Texas lakes. Like I think Fork, they did it. They for sure did it at Toledo Bend because I've been there a bunch of times, and that's F1.
Have you ever been to oh crap, I'm gonna screw up this. Ouachita in Arkansas.
Oh, Ouachita? No.
Have you ever fished that lake?
No.
Man,
Fish Table Rock.
We vacationed down there. Was it 2 years ago now? I think. And I didn't have a fishing pole or nothing. It was just a vacation, our anniversary vacation.
Yeah.
And I saw the Ouachita Mountains, which I only knew that was a thing. We stayed in Hot Springs, Arkansas, because I read a book.
That sounds
like
it's
probably Stephen Hunter.
That sounds like a tourist place.
It's not though. It's not though. It's like super small.
Really?
It's not touristy at all. They have like a little.
Branson?
It's not Branson. No, Hot Springs.
Hot Springs.
It has like a gangster museum. It has a really interesting
gangster museum.
Yeah,
like
dude,
Tupac.
No, legit gangster. Tie wearing gangsters. Tie wearing, fedora wearing. Gatling gun shooting, Tommy gun shooting gangsters,
like Jesse James,
gangsters, yeah, legit,
like Capone,
yes, like Capone, like Babyface Nelson.
That's cool,
legit gangsters.
That's awesome.
So, real quick, Hot Springs was Vegas, and it wasn't till the local law enforcement eventually cracked down on it and chased them out of there. And then they set up in the middle of nowhere in Nevada, and that's how Las Vegas got to be Las Vegas. But Hot Springs was the original Sin City, Hot Springs, Arkansas.
Interesting.
Yeah, all part of these books. They're fiction, but they have he used a lot of facts to build the storyline. So Stephen Hunter, if you're interested in that kind of book, they're really good books.
Okay.
Anyway, so I was like, we went to Lake the Ozarks. We'd never been there. Went to Missouri. We wanted to see, the mountains down there. And now that was touristy. We spent one night there, and we're like, nope.
Yeah.
Let's keep going. And I looked on the map. I'm like, oh, shit. Arkansas's not that far.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, fuck. Hot Springs. Let's go to Hot Springs. That's a part of those books that I read. Let's go check that out. My wife reads books. She didn't read any of those, but she was like, okay, I'm in.
Yeah.
Dude, it's a cool little town. But then there was Ouachita Lake, so we went on my way out. I didn't know anything about it at the time. We're like, let's hit this lake. I just want to look at it.
Uh-huh.
Dude, it's a gorgeous lake. There's like no development on it.
So it's not busy.
No, there's only like 2 developed places on it, and they're both owned by like the Corps of Engineers. And they're big like marinas and harbors. And I guess they do a lot of bass tournaments out there, and they have stripers in them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was killing me, dude. That lake is like crystal clear, and I'm just walking along, and I could see like multiple 5-pound bass just cruising the shallows. I'm like,
That doesn't really happen up in Minnesota. That's awesome.
oh my God, and now it's been in my head. I'm like, I need to just do a vacation. I need to just trailer the boat down to Ouachita and just
Let's go.
let's do it.
Let's go right
Man,
now.
what would it be? We had to research when the best time to go catch
It's
fish.
probably
on Ouachita.
post spawn now, or it's like maybe almost. It's probably summer pattern, maybe.
Probably summer pattern or pre-spawn.
Because it was post
Pre-spawn
spawn in Tennessee like a week ago is what it was for us. Post spawn kind of. They were doing the bluegill bed deal. Is kind of what the deal was.
What's your tips and tricks, tactics for post spawn fish? Because that's what Minnesota's getting into right now is post spawn.
Post spawn, probably a wacky rig Cinco, man. I mean, you really can't beat it. Like fishing for the
So
bluegill.
are you just blind? Are you just fan casting an area like?
I'll go find.
weeds,
I'll
or-
specifically go look for bluegill beds.
And then you
kinda,
get off on the edge of them.
Yeah, on the outside of them. Yeah, kind of like where the key area is kind of like right where you can't see. That's where I like to fish. Is like right when it like goes from that maybe 5 to 8 foot mark. Because then they just sit in that deeper water right there. Yeah, we'll wait for a bluegill to kind of
do you think they
over.
patrol those beds?
Oh, for
and-
sure,
And
yep.
pick off the stragglers.
Yep. Yeah. They'll wait till one kind of like swims away or something like that, and then they'll go over and eat it. Yep. Yep.
Wacky Senko.
Dude, you can't beat a wacky Cinco. Like,
yeah, they chew them things up. They really do.
like it's like it's on fire all the
Do
time.
you do the ring?
Yeah.
I don't do the ring. I probably should, huh?
I've tried it without a ring. Like they have clear ones now actually that are like the deal. Like
I don't think they give a shit about a black ring on the.
it
lure.
bugs me. I don't know.
Really?
I'm really anal about that
I
kind of
can't
stuff.
imagine they give
You
a
wouldn't
shit
think,
about
but
that.
I don't know. I'm so like.
So are you putting on?
Are you
Are you putting on a leader? What are you throwing that on?
Yeah, I'm throwing.
What's your rig then?
8-pound leader, 8-pound
Fluoro?
braid. Yeah, 8-pound fluoro to 8-pound braid. Yep. Yep. And I'll just do one rod length up for fluoro, and then one rod length back. So my leader knot will be like right at
So
the
you're not
spool.
casting it out.
So I would be casting it out, but I use
Is it going through your guides?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Just because like I'm really anal about the fact of having a long leader, especially with the clear water. Like I'm paranoid that those fish see that. I mean, I use a fluorescent yellow
like
line.
today, I was
like, it's
throwing
really
my
bright.
Texas rig Senko just straight braid. But when I'm pitching to cover, I don't think it really matters that much.
No, if you're in weeds or reeds or whatever, I don't think it really
they
matters.
see it.
No.
I don't think they see it that much. But I definitely could see in certain situations in crystal clear water where it would matter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'm not throwing a weightless Senko in deep water either. So again, you're pitching docks, you're doing stuff. They're not getting a good. It's a reaction strike. They're like, oh, there's something there, and they eat it.
Yep.
You know. But if you're using like I could see wacky rigging
because it's a slower
8.
fall. Yep.
Yeah, they're getting a good look at it.
Yeah, if it's a straight Cinco, it's going right down to the bottom real quick, and well, not real quick. But
no, it actually falls pretty slow. But I don't have the patience to wait for a weightless Senko to sink 8 feet.
I can't fish a weightless Cinco. No, I can't wait. I always have to put a nail weight in it all the time, every single time. I put it in the center, actually. It's kind of a thing that I've started doing where, like, you got the Cinco, and, like, when you put it in on the ends, like, yeah, it's nice having that weight, but then it ends up turning the Cinco. Yeah, it'll do that. It'll
falls,
take.
Yeah.
It won't
fall on an arc.
It never seems to do it even though if you do it on both ends, and I don't know what that is, but. And then it, like, changes the color of the ends of your Cinco, and I don't like that, so I put it in the center. And then I put my hook right underneath it, and I just use a tungsten one because obviously
so it falls a little faster.
Yeah, tungsten one because it takes up less space than the lead one, so it doesn't because those Cincos rip like no tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then I'll just take a lighter, and I'll actually melt the plastic.
How come they
back.
haven't made an elastic stick bait?
They did. They did.
Did they?
Yeah, Z-Man just came out with it. Yeah, I think.
See,
actually.
like I said, if I've thought of it, it's on the market.
I'm
already.
pretty sure Z-Man has it now. Yeah.
Do they have the same sink rate as like Gary Amato?
Nah, I don't think so. No.
That's what they got to figure out. They got to get the same action of a regular Senko, stick bait.
I don't
But
know
with the
anybody at
durability-
Seaman though, but
With the durability of the Elastec.
I could talk. I know Gary. I could talk to Gary. Maybe he could try to make an Elastec Cinco.
You know what I was, what I've been catching my bedded bass on?
An
this
Elastec
year?
Cinco.
The Elastec, the new craws that came out
No
on
way.
a Ned rig.
Really?
They can't take it.
Look at this.
The thing, that little tiny cross sitting there right in their nest, you just tap that thing a little bit.
It looks really good, dude. I like it for a Carolina rig because now you got your craw instead of like those. It doesn't make any sense for me to like throw a Carolina. I know a lot of guys just throw Carolina rigs.
Yeah,
You got your plastic
very much, but
because your bait just sits on the bottom. Like I like having my bait up a little bit. So like an Elastec craw, an Elastec craw on a Carolina that makes sense because like you're dragging your weight and then you got the bait up above.
You can always modify it with the walleye guys. They got those little tiny styrofoam.
See, this is why I'm friends with you because you know all the walleye tricks too. So
I don't know
you
all
can give me all the walleye tricks, all these northern tricks. Just tell me like, give me. Don't tell me to throw planer boards though for my bass.
I will never say that. I'll never say planer boards ever. Well, I did say it, but I wouldn't do it unless I'm fishing for salmon. That sounds like that fun. Would be the only time.
King salmon.
Ever. That's practically the only time I'm gonna troll. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
like
that does sound like fun though, dude.
And even like I like to musky fish from time to time.
Yeah.
But even then I cast, and I know, without a question of a doubt, if you want your best chance of putting a muskie in the boat, you should be trolling. Your lure's in the strike zone all the time. You can cover water.
Yeah.
That is your best bet. I'm going to cast, thanks.
Yeah.
Even if it means I don't actually catch one, I have no interest in trolling. I guarantee you're like me. There's no drinking beer and fishing.
No, I don't do it. No, no.
I can't.
People think I'm crazy. Like other
Same
friends,
here.
like they all like, oh, we go fishing, we drink. No, man, like I'm out there to fish.
How?
Like, yeah, I'm not out there.
I've tried it. Here's what happens. I get out there,
you get
to where I'm
lazy.
going to fish, pop, take a pull off it. Oh, that tastes good. Set it down. Fish. Next thing I'm like, an hour goes by. I'm like, oh shit, my beer. It's piss warm. I ain't drinking that.
Yeah.
What a waste of a beer.
Yeah.
I like beer.
Yeah. Don't want to waste it.
I can't. The only time I can drink beer and fish is like in
ice
the winter
fishing.
time.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna say that.
But even still, only if I'm in like a wheelhouse at night, because during the day I'm hole hopping.
Okay.
I'm on the move. Same thing. I don't have time to drink.
You just wait
beer.
for the crappies to come through and you just drink beer.
Yeah, I don't wait. I'm like, if
No,
I'm
at
not catching
night,
fish,
yeah.
I'm moving. I'm drilling holes. It is nothing for us to drill 100 holes in a day. Like, that's not an exaggeration. Like, we're moving. We're catching fish. We're not catching fish. I'm trying to figure out why we're not catching fish. Like, let's go here.
We can go ice fishing together, but I want you to drill all those holes,
when the sun goes down and you're not hole hopping anymore, perfect time. Then it becomes beer drinking that gets interrupted by a fish once in a while.
Yeah.
That's a different mindset.
Sunday night football.
Yeah, that's a different, like, okay, but I could be doing this in my living room, but I have zero chance of catching a fish in my living room, so I might as well do it out here.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, it's just like your living room. Yeah, your son.
Never once caught a fish in my living room.
No,
not once.
Never.
But now with modern technology, I can sit in basically a living room on the ice, watching satellite TV, drinking beer. Hell, we could be gaming with Shark and catch a walleye.
I like that
idea.
idea.
Look what happened. We caught a walleye.
I like that idea. Yeah, let's bring a PS4 out there and just.
All right, Shark, we're doing this. I'll mention it.
I'll be gaming though. You guys can do that ice fishing deal. I'll be gaming the whole time.
You'll have to just pause it, dude. They have a pause button for a reason.
No.
Dude, your bobber's down. Pause it. Catch that walleye.
Yeah, that rattle reel's going off, bro.
Catch that 28-incher real quick. Take a picture, grip and grin, throw it back. Unpause it.
Okay, I'll ice fish like that.
Back to sniping people off.
But you're drilling all them holes,
I'll
man.
drill holes. I don't
You'll
care,
drill the
dude.
holes for me, and I'll fish. Okay.
No problem.
Deal.
Yeah, I gotta do that. No, what you gotta do is get you a shark.
Okay.
Like a legit shark.
Saltwater
style.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
And a bull redfish.
Bull redfish is on the docket.
Goliath grouper.
I need to catch one of those yet, but we can definitely try to get it together. I'm down.
Like a marlin. I want to catch a marlin or a sailfish, one of those two. That would be pretty
those
cool.
Are on my list too.
A big tuna.
You know what's really so we've tried that twice now.
Tuna?
My brother and I. Yeah, so we've gone to Louisiana twice, and both times we've been blown out. Like we couldn't actually go out. to get them.
They refund your money then?
Weather.
Is that how?
Oh no. We just do. We stay
like
inshore.
Oh, okay.
Just catch small reds and stuff like that.
You guys hired a guide, or
Yeah.
You guys
Yeah,
okay.
for sure.
Okay.
Hey, can't. We're not set up for that.
Oh
for
yeah, that's like a
way
lot.
offshore.
Okay,
and we could have, but we're not going to trailer a boat from South Carolina to Louisiana.
yeah, that's a bit of a haul.
No, you're going to spend more on gas than the $400 or $600 or whatever it is for a guide.
Yeah.
Like no. We'll hire a guide out for that for sure. But yeah, that is on our list, big time, to go catch some of those giant tuna out there.
Okay, give me a shout, bro. Let's do it.
Along those oil rigs out there, dude.
That sounds
so much fun.
That sounds like a blast, man.
God, that'd be so much fun.
No
I
joke.
can't even imagine like what that feels like. Well, I caught an amberjack the first time I fished out of the Keys. It was like a 45-pound amberjack, which is a big fish, but not. They get bigger.
Like 100-pound.
Yeah. The first time ever I've had to like shake out my arm while fighting a fish. I had to shake it out twice. My arms are getting sore. I'm like, dude.
Do they give those waistbands
for certain fish, not for
the amberjack?
Amberjacks.
Oh,
No,
okay.
No, you don't need them for that.
Okay. Even if it's a 100-pound amberjack? Oh my god.
It's going to give you a run. It's just
holy crap, dude. I only weigh 160. That sucker almost weighs more than me.
They don't use those belts for Goliaths either. You know what the new
No
trend
way,
for Goliaths
dude.
is? Hand fishing for them.
Dude, I want to go noodling.
Okay.
No joke.
That makes
if I go with a guy, I just don't. You don't want to do it?
I kind of do, but I don't want to stick my hand in an alligator snapper's mouth instead.
That's the okay. I'm gonna go with a guide. There's guys that
you can check it out. I was like, "There's a catfish there. Go get it."
Yeah,
okay.
exactly.
If you've confirmed.
I'm not doing it on my own because
it's not an actual alligator. And it's not an alligator.
A beaver. Like, dude, I'm not sticking my hand in some nasty wood.
We have both stuck our hands in some nasty beavers before.
That's true. That is probably true. But I'm just not gonna. I love my fingers. No, I didn't lose fingers that time. So I would do it though. I think that'd be nuts. Can you imagine having a rip?
So you know what? I kind of have to do it because if you've been on Instagram long enough and you follow enough fishing pages, there are tiny little 100-pound girls in bikinis.
Shout out to Hannah Barron
that are noodling.
Yeah.
Giant flatheads. So if I want to kind of keep my
Hannah Barron, right?
I don't know Hannah. Do I need to follow her?
She's got like a million follows. Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah, she's got.
I'm gonna fire up the Insta. We're gonna find her. You got a direct line to her? You can get her on the podcast.
I could probably DM her.
Let's see.
Yeah, she's.
She doesn't get enough creepy DMs as it is.
No, she's really good about.
Hannah. Was that what her name was?
Yeah, Hannah Barron.
Is it?
I feel like
NNAH?
Yeah, but I have T-Mobile, so this isn't gonna work. So
Hannah Barron 96.
Yep, that's her. There you go. She shoots hogs from helicopters too, bro.
Yeah,
dude. You see those? The catfish are bigger than her. I'm telling you.
Oh, dude, look at this, bro.
I told you, dude. She's like a noodling expert.
She has 496,000 followers.
Yes, I'm telling you. If you
I
get
don't think I have 496.
I got maybe 3,000. I don't know.
Holy
2,000?
shit, bro.
Yeah, dude. Look at how big those flatheads are.
I want to get. There's another girl
us?
called Cammy Cakes, and she's out of Louisiana.
Oh yeah,
I mentioned her a bunch of times, and I'm sure she's got creeper filters. She's never gonna see my messages.
You gotta comment on those photos. That's what you gotta do.
Yeah, there you go. Maybe she'll see those.
I know Cammy Cakes. Yeah, Cammy Cakes is pretty popular. But
yeah, well, she's got like 1 million followers or something too.
We should just wear bikinis, then we'll get a lot of followers too.
I don't think so. I don't think that's gonna work.
You don't think it's gonna work for us?
I don't think me in a banana hammock is going to get too many likes. Really don't. No, but I do have a guy. So Marsh Whisperer, he has the one and only outfitter shop right in New Orleans there, right downtown. And I stopped and I talked to him. He is down.
Cammy was there?
No, she wasn't there, but he's down for a podcast. And so I've been meaning to get back down there and do a podcast with him.
Okay.
So if I'm going to make the time, spend the time and money, effort to get down there to podcast him, it's like I'm kind of trying to double dip. I'm like, if I could
Mardi Gras,
if I could get Cammy to agree to podcast, I can do one with Marsh Whisper, and I could do
Yeah.
one with Cam. Well, I'm just trying to bang out 2 while I'm down there. Like, I mean, Jesus Christ, if I can get her on her network is ginormous.
How many followers does she have?
Let's look right now. It's an absurd amount. Let's see. I probably don't even need to search this, but I will because
I bet it's
she
almost.
posts
I bet
a lot.
It's over it might be 1 million.
Oh wait, that's not the right person. I was like, that's not even that much. There's Cammy.
There's a bunch of Instagram.
No, she says this one's only 225,000.
Is it
so
Cammy?
Hannah has more. Yeah, that's her. Cammy Matilla. It doesn't say Cammy Cake Soap, but that's her.
Oh yeah, that's her.
Owner of Piece of Cake Charters, that's her.
Piece of Cake Charters.
Yeah. She just started that this year.
Yeah, there's another girl that's down there that's got a bed and breakfast too. I can't remember what her name is, Stephanie or something.
No, so Hannah actually has more followers. Shout
so
out to Hannah.
maybe you should get Hannah Barron. She's from Alabama, so
Alabama?
Yeah, you want to go to Alabama?
I've never spent any quality time in Alabama. We drove through it, but I haven't really spent any time there, so I'm down. Let's do it. Yeah. Hannah, hit me up.
Yeah.
DM me.
Yeah. He wants to wrangle some freaking cats, man.
Hell yeah, dude.
Some kitties.
Well, dude, Turtle Man style. Yee!
Yeah, oh my gosh.
Wow, live action.
That'd be such a blast, man. Like,
dude, it'd be a rush. If the first time you dive underneath there and reach your hand into a dark
I'd probably poop.
cave.
I'd probably poop myself, no joke. Like, and they bite, dude. They bite down your hand. Like,
that's like how you get them. That you need them to bite.
Yeah, that's just absolutely insane,
bro.
But that's okay because I'm insane. So.
But yeah, same here. Again, like if this little girl's doing it, I got it. Like I gotta do it.
She probably weighs not even 100 pounds, and she's
Man.
wrangling catfish that are over 100.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't recommend like trying to noodle a Goliath grouper though. They have teeth.
Do they?
Groupers have teeth.
No way.
Oh yeah, they do. Oh yeah,
like
they
fangs?
do. Yeah,
like
walleye teeth.
Holy crap!
Yeah, you don't want to stick your hand. You don't lip those. They may look like a bass shape wise.
Yeah.
Don't lip them.
Don't lip them though.
Don't lip a grouper,
Oh my
dude.
gosh!
Don't lip snappers. No. Almost everything in the ocean has teeth, except for snook. Snook don't have teeth. You can lip those.
Tarpon?
You can. Tarpon don't have teeth.
You
can lip
tuna.
Those. They do have teeth.
Really?
Yeah, small teeth, but yeah, I don't think you want to stick.
Would you get bass thumb or would you get like walleye thumb?
You'd bleed. Yeah,
you'd bleed
yeah,
from
you don't.
tunas.
You don't want to. Nah, you don't want to do that, dude. They like chop bait fish in half. You don't want to. No, you don't want to stick your hand in a tuna mouth. No,
Okay.
Don't do that.
Okay.
Just as a general rule of thumb, don't stick your hand in a saltwater fish's mouth. Almost all of them have teeth.
Okay.
Now, you listen to like the 2 that don't, but almost all of them.
The 2 I got 2 of like the 3 that are out there.
Redfish don't have teeth either.
Oh, okay.
You can lip those like bass.
Sailfish, marlin.
No, those don't have teeth, but I don't think you're gonna lift those. They're a
wow,
little big.
Look at this. Dude.
They're a little big.
I'm getting all of them now.
Yeah, they're a little big though.
I'm just gonna grab them by that long bill and just hold them.
Yeah.
Would you eat one? Would you eat one of them suckers?
I'll eat anything once. I'll try anything.
Really?
I don't know.
Is there anything you haven't eaten?
Good. Oh, there's a fuck ton of stuff I haven't eaten.
What's the best fish you've had?
Tuna.
Tuna's probably the best.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sashimi.
And not out of the can.
Sashimi grade tuna. No, I hate that tuna. That's not even a real tuna. Albacore or whatever the fuck it is. That's just gross.
Yeah.
No, like legit sushi grade tuna. Do you
Fresh
like sushi?
cut. Oh, dude, it's my favorite food. I love sushi. I'm going down to Florida in July, and I'm going to eat seafood and sushi every day while I'm down there.
So good. No, the trip we just took that turned into like a seafood culinary adventure, which I don't know why I didn't put this together, but it just.
You should have done a podcast.
We did New England.
Oh, Patriots, get out of here.
Yeah,
get
I know.
No.
Whatever. But the seafood, dude.
Yeah.
If you like seafood,
yeah.
Oh my God. The clams, the lobster.
All of it.
Oh, dude. And I'd had people tell me that. Like people that come from the East Coast and come here and then they go to like Red Lobster to get lobster. Like I can't even eat there, dude. That's garbage. I like the lobster at Red Lobster. It's good.
Yeah.
No, it's not. Now that I've had legit lobster, like fresh caught in Maine. No comparison.
Mm-hmm.
Not even. They're just. It's not even close.
Did you guys have it in Maine, or did you guys actually have it in
No,
New
in
England?
Maine.
Oh,
We were
you
in
guys,
Maine.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Well, and we had some in Boston too, but
Do they ship it from Maine then, or do they catch it?
no, they
actually
catch it
on
in.
New
Yeah, it's
England? Okay.
yeah, it's in Massachusetts too. That whole eastern seaboard has them.
Yeah, it's all.
Yeah.
It's.
I know Maine gets Maine lobster gets the billing, but it's all the way up and down the northeast coast there.
Yeah.
Has them, but yeah.
I wish we had that stuff
linguine
around
with
here,
clam
dude.
sauce. Oh my
I
god!
bet they think the same thing about our walleyes. I bet they
so
think
good.
like, oh,
dude,
I love walleye.
walleye is so boring compared to anything.
I
in the
know,
ocean,
isn't it?
Dude.
Like,
it's so
isn't-
boring. You know what people say when people are like, "Oh, I love walleye. It tastes so good." Think halibut. I love halibut. It tastes so good. You know what? People that say fish tastes good, that eat that kind of white, firm, flaky flesh meat, what they mean is it doesn't taste like anything. It tastes like the breading you put on it. Because upper Midwestern white folk, we're like afraid of flavor. We don't do spice.
No.
We don't do flavor.
Yep.
It's like, you know why you think that tastes good? Because it doesn't taste like anything.
Yeah,
It's
I agree.
bland like the rest of the stuff you eat.
I don't like freshwater fish. I rarely keep. I mean, I'll eat some, but
Dude,
like
I like it, but I'm going to be honest with you. When I fry them up nice and crispy, like a whole shit ton, like a pan of crappies and bluegills or whatever, they're like chips. I don't taste fish.
no, you just taste the breading.
Taste the breading. It's crispy. It's good. I like it. I'm not dogging it. My point is, it doesn't have really a flavor.
like
Now, you
ocean.
get a fish that has flavor like tuna. Now, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's good. It's so good. Oh, God, I love it. Same thing. I have the same philosophy when it comes to, like, red meats. People like beef. Why? Because it's bland as fuck. You have to give, unless it's a really good marbled ribeye that's getting the flavor from the fat that's in the meat, you got to put some seasoning on it. You got to do something with it. Dude, I will trade you 5 beef steaks for 1 venison steak. Venison actually has flavor.
It's amazing.
What
yes.
people deem as gamey. I don't even like using the term gamey anymore because you're not used to flavor.
No.
This meat has its own flavor.
Yep. You can tell venison like just flat out.
It's
Just
so good, dude.
I agree.
You can ruin it easily because it doesn't have that fat content. So if you overcook it and it's well done and it's dry and it's tough, yeah, that sucks. That tastes like ass. Medium
Is that
rare,
mosquito back?
probably. Medium rare, salt, pepper, maybe a little garlic powder. You don't need any crazy marinade, dude. So good. Same with geese and waterfowl. The same way. You overcook a goose or duck breast,
Yeah.
it's inedible.
I've never had it.
It's fucking terrible.
Never had goose or
But
duck.
if you treat it just like you would a venison steak,
What's
dude,
the best waterfowl to
so
eat?
good. Snow geese.
Snow geese.
I love them. They're so good. And they get a bad rap for the same reason. People don't know how to cook them. Call them carp of the sky carp.
Snow geese, the white ones.
Yeah.
Huh?
They're so good.
Really?
Dude, I made snow goose tacos this year.
Are they greasy? I've heard
Off the hook.
I've heard goose is greasy.
No, I don't think so.
No, not really.
I don't think so.
Huh.
I mean, you'd have to actually cook them in the fat to
Okay.
get to. And duck fat is like. Duck and goose fat is like chef's liquid gold.
Huh.
When you get rendered duck fat,
Yeah.
you fry something in duck fat. Oh, dude, fries in duck fat. You've never had anything better. So good. So, yeah, you're going to bitch to me that it's gamey or it's greasy. You just don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Or you're just so used to bland food that you eat something with flavor and you're like, oh, I taste something.
Yeah.
Well, I can't talk to you. Not about food. Then go get a fish sandwich at McDonald's.
Yep.
I mean, if that's what you want.
Yeah.
Then go get that. It doesn't matter. I mean, whatever. Yeah, I love it. It's to the point now I honestly don't crave beef anymore. I just don't.
So what kind of burgers you eat then? Bison
I mean, I
burger?
still eat burger. I mean, I had McDonald's today. It's not like I'm a purist.
Okay.
But, I mean, if I have a choice,
I'm gonna pick the
yeah,
better
I'm gonna
quality
pick game.
stuff, yeah.
I'm gonna pick wild game. It's just so much better and better for you. It's not filled with any hormones. Like
No.
especially if I like the deer I shoot, I process myself, I know where that meat's been.
Yeah.
I did it.
Yeah,
Like,
you don't bring it to no place, yeah.
I'm not going to, I mean, so I'll bring it someplace, if I shoot enough of them, and I just don't have the time. Plus, I like I don't make my own sausages and stuff like that. So if I want like summer sausage made or breakfast sausage, yeah, I'll bring it someplace.
Or jerky or
have
something.
Yeah. I mean, I'll make my own jerky, but I'm not set up for like sausages and stuff like that. So I'll bring that somewhere. I'm not above bringing it somewhere, but I'm like a serial DIY guy. As much as I can do myself, I like to do myself.
Yeah. No, I'm the same way. Yeah.
It's just get more enjoyment out of it.
Yeah, it's the whole experience. You're killing the deer, processing it, cooking it yourself, eating it. Yeah.
There's a huge reward there.
Yep.
I mean, it's just more satisfying than buying a steak from Cub.
Oh, it's way more satisfying than that.
And it just tastes better. It just does. It just tastes better. If you're a person that's squeamish about a little pink in your meat, grow up. Find Jesus, bro.
Are we going to talk fishing again or what?
Is that what we're
Sorry,
doing
this
here?
isn't a hunting show, yeah.
It is a hunting show. It's
well,
an
it's
everything show.
It's an outdoor show, yeah.
All outdoors, full scale. But yes, we can talk fishing. Where were we at? You were dissecting lakes last time before we derailed half hour ago. This is what happens.
Maybe an hour ago. What are we at now?
We have officially made the 3-hour mark.
Nice.
We should probably wrap this up.
Look at that. We could certainly wrap it up. Yeah. I mean, I basically dissected the lakes. Yeah.
We did. So you got
I mean, it's just
let's do this. So if somebody's interested in getting on that trail,
on the
opens,
Bassmaster Opens,
what do they need to do?
You just go to Bassmaster.com, taking around October-ish time, and make sure you just kind of follow. They'll announce it and stuff like that. They'll say like,
do you have to register for what you want all at the same time?
Nope. You can register for one. You can link with somebody.
And then later, could you? I mean, is that the time to register, or like 3 months later, can you register for a different one?
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
Some guys will register for one, see how it goes. They do well, they'll register for the next one. Just keep doing that. It's a little risky because you might not get in. Yep, it might be full.
Sure.
Yep, you might not get in because it goes first come first serve. So if there's not enough co-anglers to fill for all the boaters, sorry, you're just not going to get in. So.
All right.
Yeah. So if you want to get in, just register right away. I would recommend maybe getting a link. So you find another boater if you're a co-angler, or a co-angler, you find a boater. So just find someone that they can link up with you so you can register together, and then you're both guaranteed that spot.
Okay.
So
that makes sense.
Yeah. So if you're going to go as a co-angler, which is what I would recommend.
I would totally co-angler it for sure.
I wouldn't do boater your first year if you're going to try to do it, because you're paying $1,500 plus lodging plus
it's
gas.
one thing to get my ass kicked, but I'm not a masochist.
That's just it'd be brutal, man.
It would be super brutal.
Yeah. So just look at Bassmaster.com and just register, and dude, it's a wild ride. Try to see if you can get in lacrosse. Lacrosse is
I've always wanted. I've never fished on there, and I've always wanted to.
Dude, it's a blast.
When in fact, I think my maiden voyage was my maiden voyage down there. I think it was
with your boat.
Yeah, when I got that Ranger a couple years ago. No, I bought it up here. It was actually in Wisconsin or something, but. I didn't know the waters like that at all, but that'll be a whole. I'll get down on a thing, and
that's a scary place to go. Your main voyage,
yeah, dude.
Bro. Let's go to the river, wing dams and trees.
I didn't grow up on big rivers, but I grew up fishing small rivers. So rivers don't really, they don't concern me too much. I'm used to them, but I gotta piss like a racehorse. So let's wrap this thing up. David, thank you so much for bailing me out tonight. This was awesome. I was ready for just to do almost a throwaway podcast, just about anybody that'd have me, but this is a 3-hour one. I think it was pretty fucking entertaining.
Nah, dude, you're awesome, Dale. Thanks for having me.
This is great.
On.
We're definitely gonna do this again, and I'm taking you to Pelican Lake.
Okay, and I'll take you to Mille Lacs, dude, and we're gonna do it. Let's do a podcast for both those lakes. Actually, I think
I'm in.
I think we get a lot of people fired up to go fishing.
Oh yeah, for sure, dude. Oh for sure. You're gonna fall in love with that lake so much you have no idea what you're in for. You'll be like, I can't believe I didn't know this existed. It's my favorite place on the planet. No lie.
I'm going to make Mille Lacs your favorite place, though.
It'll never overtake Pelican.
Oh, come on.
It'll have bigger fish, but there's no way it's going to overtake it. It's a shit show.
Too many memories on Pelican.
And
it's a shit show.
Whatever. Yeah. So, all right, cool, man. Thanks, man.
Thanks. Really appreciate it.